enough from me. We're gonna have the games do our talking.
Hey, yo. What's up, everybody? It's Jez7780. What grinds my gears? Here. We're in July. Hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July weekend for all the U.S. grinders. Shout out to all the grinders that's showing up. Grindhouse is open for business. And we got some business to talk about. Damn, oh damn. I go away for 4 days, come back, and shit hits the fan. Oh, baby, oh, baby. This is some. We're going to be rocking this tonight. We got some topics on that Grindsboard. Hit that like button. Share it out. We are on our way to almost 1,000 grinders in the Grindhouse. We're at 892. Spread the word. Let's see if we can hit 900 live tonight. Get those sirens going. Woo! I made my rounds. Grinds didn't. I did my house calls. We did the Saltiest podcast on Thursday. It was on Crossfire on Friday. Shout out to Mooch, shout out to Salty. And then I did my classic Grinds My Gears on Wednesday because of the hooplas and the craziness going on. I see Frogs is sitting in the Grinds lobby. I'm going to go tune in. I'm going to go get Frogs. And we're going to get this thing going. So let me shout out everybody that's here. Sam Ash, Dominic, what's up? The Floyd, yes, shouting out the Grinders. What's up? How you doing, Jamal King? Toolman, 55. The tools are here. What's up? Tools may not be over there with Phil Spencer, but the tools are right here in the Grindhouse. We got the tools. We got the tools. We got Toolman with the tools. We got Nick. We got Sergeant. Ryan Lands, loving that music. Yeah, hopefully you like that music. I've been trying to get some crazy rock, crazy intro music going on, to entertain the grinders who are waiting patiently, coming on in. What's up, Twits and Sing? How you doing, Curtis? Yo, what's up, Ghostface? What's up? He says, bring on the 1,000 tools. Well, we got the tools. We're almost there, Tool Man. We're there. We got the tools here. Here we go. It's all about business. That's right, it's business. So let me go mosey in onto the Grinds lobby. I got my Corona. I got a Coke Zero. So when my voice gets parched, when I start yelling. Anyway, I hope I don't yell too much. But who gives a shit? It's a short week anyway. I just got to make sure my sound works for my things. How does everybody sound? We're going to go grab Frogs. Frogs is over here. Frogs has some wild stuff going on. And here we are. Hello. What's up, Frogs?
Not much, man. Just chilling, just waiting.
Yo, what's up, Link? Link's in here. Link's in the lobby. We're live, guys. We're live. Yeah. I hit that live button. I was making the music roll. How was you guys 4th of July, guys? How was everything?
Pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, I lit some fireworks. I gotta tell you one.
It was rain.
Rain? Oh, damn.
Oh, because we getting ready to get that small little tropical storm / hurricane
/ Elsa. Let it go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let it go.
That's it. Lake, how was your 4th of July?
Oh, man, it was great, man. Just spent some time with the family, grilled,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
always great.
I gotta tell you, so I did, shout out to my Staten Island family, man. We went up to Staten Island for 4th of July, man. My uncle and aunt did a crazy party. They had a thing that was outside their house called, it was a food truck, but basically it was a DJ too. It was the craziest thing, dude. Dude, this thing, it was called Got Some Bowls. I Got Bowls or something. They served rice bowls, sausage and peppers, all the Italian, all the stuff, man. Hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecuing in the street, DJing in the front of the house. It was wild. And I tell you one thing, man, those, they let it go, man, with the fireworks. The cops did not stop anything, and everybody just blew up. The island was lit. Staten Island was lit. For all my New Yorkers, man, it was, man, it was like my wife was just crazy. She loves fireworks. She couldn't believe it. It was bigger than the shows that we see in Jersey. Like they have the shows at the schools and stuff. But man, it was a freelance fireworks. Cakes, people were bringing out things that looked like coffins, and it was a big box with a goddamn fuse on it. They like the fuse, and they run away.
Crap.
I was like, I thought I was gonna open up the box and have a bunch of little fireworks in there. Dude, they're like, no, this is the firework. I'm like, holy shit.
That's crazy.
But man, it was a wild time, man. It was great. What a party. And you know what? I think everybody went extra because of last year. I think everybody went extra. Definitely
Everybody
this year.
didn't get to do it last year.
I know, man. It sucked. It was the worst. Like there was no. I remember I made my kids watch fireworks on YouTube. That's how sad it was last year.
I'm not a fireworks person, really.
I know, but like,
I
how
used
can you
to
not
when I
4th
was
of
a
July?
kid.
Dude, would have fun the fireworks.
Nah, dude. Being in the military, you kind of really get tired of hearing pow pow, bang bang, pop pop.
I
pop,
get
bang,
you.
bang.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, I understand. I hear you. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. But
Only pow pow, bang bang I want to hear is if I'm shooting my own gun at somebody who's trying to harm me. Other than that, I really don't want to hear that.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, you have a different reaction like that.
Yeah.
I was reenacting. Ryan says I was reenacting Saving Private Ryan.
Hey, I get PTSD from playing Call of Duty too hard.
Yo.
I get hyped.
Yeah,
If
you
ever
do,
play
man.
Call of Duty
Fucking wild.
Dude, I get hyped.
That's about all I played anyway. Was Call of Duty. Like I was out. I was just like doing so much stuff. Like I really didn't play that much. Like I did some retro gaming on my little portable retro machine here, but I really haven't much to play there. I did some Call of Duty, and that was about it. I did a little bit of Ratchet, but I was out and about this weekend. It was wild. And also too, I'm trying to get some work done because my son has a birthday party coming up, and I gotta, I'm the DJ and party man, so I gotta make sure I get all that. I love doing that stuff. I love just getting a bunch of speakers, and I'm a speaker and headphone addict, so I just buy that and party lights. I should be a DJ in my second life, but anyway. Did you guys game anything? Anything? Play anything?
I play Guilty Gear a lot.
Oh, I gotta play the
I've been
story in
playing
that goddamn
that
game,
game.
man.
Yeah, I'm getting hooked on it. I'm learning the mechanics. I'm starting to really have fun with it.
I heard that's a game that you really get the mechanics in. It's just not like every fight.
Yo, and everybody plays differently.
Yeah, every character is totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, baby. I do, man.
Playing some Ghost of
Oh,
Tsushima,
some
still
gadget.
playing some of that.
Yeah, you said you play some what? I'm sorry.
Been playing some Ghost of Tsushima, on my new game.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't put it on the Grindsboard, but yeah, thanks for reminding me. I forgot about that.
I've been rocking out, of course, my Cold War. I finally got my Battle Pass done. What else? A little bit of Ratchet here and there.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I been playing? What's that fighting game we got for free?
Oh, Virtua Fighter 5.
Virtua Fighter.
I've been messing with Virtua Fighter, just whooping people. I've been whooping people online left and right. I'm like, okay, either these guys aren't that good, or they've never played Virtua Fighter before, because Virtua Fighter really hasn't changed a lot other than graphics.
Not since Sega Saturn.
Right, but I play a lot. But the thing is, I play a lot of DOA. So Virtua Fighter and DOA are very similar in a sense. Like the way that like the combos and the reverses are, they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I been playing? Got back into Doom Eternal again because the PS5 version. I've been playing that a little bit, and I'm playing with the ray tracing on. But I'm be honest with you,
that ray tracing that game doesn't look that impressive.
Oh my god, you guys read my mind. Now you reminded me. I played that too. I deleted it because that ray tracing, I was like fooled.
Very, very minor.
It was nothing.
Minor. You might as well play with 4K, the 4K freaking 60 versus the ray tracing with 1800p. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I see it. I run up to the window. I'm like, oh, I can see myself. But it's nothing to be like, oh my. Like, I'll choose the 4K 60 over the ray tracing. Like, it just didn't move a needle for me. I was like, nah, I'll just play at the higher resolution 60 because the game already plays really good. So like, I'm like, man, this ray tracing is gonna be, and I got it and I was like, where's the ray tracing? And I had to like look for it. You have to look for it because in that game you move so fast, you really don't notice it.
Yeah.
And then when I did notice it, I was like, it wasn't a huge like, oh my god, this is what game is gonna come to. It wasn't like that. It was just like, oh, okay,
Frog, funny is that I did the same thing, and thanks for reminding me because it was that forgettable. I put that in, right? And first off, here's the first thing. Again, with the PlayStation and their saves, I said this on Saltiest Podcast. Don't do these PS5 updates and PS5 versions without a save transfer implemented. Either in the system level or upload to a server and download.
I'm surprised they didn't.
It's useless. I gotta start this game again, right? So then I have the switch where it says ray tracing on, ray tracing off, right? So I have the gun and I'm looking at one of those punch walls where it has that green light coming from it.
Right.
And I did a Grinds Foundry. Grinds Foundry, here we go. So I looked at it, and I have the green light reflecting on my on the gun, and I'm like, okay, so that's like whatever the hell they call it, the lighting reflection, whatever the hell they called it in traditional one. Let me turn on ray tracing. Yes, that reflection. You can tell
screen
space reflection, exactly. Because so it showed green on the gun. Then I turned on ray tracing, and I looked at it, and yes, it was green as well. But it looked a little like it had different shades of green because it was actually reflecting the actual object. But it was so minor.
You wouldn't miss. You wouldn't miss it.
Exactly. You would not.
You can tell it was really tacked on. You can tell.
Yeah.
Right. The game runs really smooth.
It runs good. It's clear.
Like, it's clean. It runs smooth. But ray tracing to me doesn't make that big a difference. Like, if that game didn't have ray tracing, I wouldn't. It's still a good game. It doesn't take away from it being a good game. It's a good game. It just ray tracing. I'm like, maybe this is not the game.
It's not worth the 70 gigabytes of a download for the PS5. If you played it already, not worth the 70 gigs.
When you start looking at some of the games like Ratchet, ray tracing really matters in that game.
Even Metro Exodus, dude. Metro Exodus, that upgrade was good.
You see it in Ratchet.
I heard Plague's Tale is good too. Oh, we're talking about Doom, Sam Ash. Doom Eternal 4K. It's PS5 update. It's next gen update.
Yeah, just play it at 4K 60. Oh God, my dog.
Yeah,
can't be a podcast without my.
There you go. Those are the pit bulls of the Grindhouse. Those are our dogs. Those are watchdogs. Frogs are watchdogs. We got them. You hear them? They're vicious. They bite off your arm. But yeah, so Link, you didn't think it was anything either, right?
Nah, I mean, no. I bought the game on Xbox, so I didn't see a reason to buy it again on PlayStation.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I tried it out.
Yeah. I would say and some
mind blowing.
Yeah, some of the grinders like is that bad. Delete. The reason why is again we don't have our update for external drive, and it holds 60, 70 gigabytes of memory, and I'm like,
I'm actually moving some stuff right now to my external.
Yeah, like I'm like 60, 70 gigs. Like first off, I got to play through it again. I was already more than halfway done. I was like, I was on mods fighting. Like I was not gonna play through this again. And again, like it really. This is where we said last year, like, are you just going to play your old games again with graphical updates? And I know this going to spill into Ghost of Tsushima talk, which we'll talk about into the thing. But, like, really, if it's not new content and if it's not a redo of the game, if I have already played it, I really don't, that's not going to hold my interest again. Unless if it's an old game, like Metro Exodus, like I played that a while ago. And that, and if the update's done really well with the motion controls, the sound, with the adaptive triggers, maybe it's worth another shot. Like I saw some people talking about Plague's Tale. I played a little bit on PC, but apparently, like you feel the rats and stuff, like with the DualSense, and that game is free in PlayStation Plus, which is insane.
It's different because I played it on the PS4 and I wasn't impressed by that game.
Yeah, I played a little bit on PC.
Graphically, I'm still not impressed with that game. I don't know why people think that game graphically is amazing. That game doesn't look that good. Neil. But I think what makes that game good is maybe the story. But the game itself is not a good looking game. Like even on PS5, I played it today and I was like, oh, it just looks cleaner.
Oh, well, the game night says it looks good. It does look good. I played it on PC. It looks good.
I don't know why everybody.
But Frog, for what it is, see, that's the thing.
Okay,
it's like that.
If I'm comparing it
down,
to
up, half glass full.
Yeah, if I'm comparing it to other games I've played, just games, period. No, it's not
no Demon Souls, no Ratchet. But if you look at it from a Hellblade perspective, like that. Like,
okay, if I look
even
at it from
Hellblade
a
looked better though.
Okay,
Feel
I
the
still think
rats.
Hellblade looked better. But my whole thing is like, even when I played it on a PS4, like I didn't think it looked that good.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I kept seeing people say this game looks amazing, mostly
Right.
PC guys, right? And I was like,
Right.
what are they talking about? This game doesn't look good. And then I got on the PS5 and I was like, oh, it's clean. But I think what people are talking about with that game to me is the story is good. I don't think that the game graphically looks good. Like that's like saying like a Telltale game graphically looks good. No, it really doesn't. But what you get, what it does to you is it pulls you into that story, that narrative. There are just some games that I'm not saying it looks as bad as, like, you know what I'm saying, like a PS3 game, but it doesn't look like it belongs. It just looks like a studio. They had a small budget. It was like, hey, we got a good story, and that's what it is. Like, it looks like a $20 title. Like, and don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like I'm comparing this game to, you know, when it came out. I think at the time, Ghost of Tsushima for the PS4 was coming out, and so I was like, yeah, this or Ghost of Tsushima. Of course, I'm gonna play Ghost of Tsushima.
It looks good. I gotta see it on the PS5.
I'm not super
I didn't try it yet on the PS5, but
you're gonna be like, it looks.
I played it on
clean.
PC, and I played it at the high frame rate. It is clean. Hey, man, it's in PlayStation Plus. Another good PS5 update for PlayStation Plus, you know?
I would never put it up there with anything that even Xbox, you know, their first party makes graphically. I'm
telling you, man, this looks pretty damn good.
It's a nice game as far as what the story like the narrative is really good. That's what makes that game really good, because I'm interested in the narrative. Graphically, I'm like, this game looks okay. It's just an okay game.
All right,
like, it's a solid 6 as far as graphics. Story is probably a 9. Like,
all right, well, I gotta play this. I'm definitely gonna. I have, again. We got tons of games. We'll talk about all the games we got with the PlayStation subscription. It's crazy.
It's gonna keep you there, because when I did play it, I was like, yo, I'm interested in this story, and I just it fell off. So I started playing another game that fell. But yeah, story is what made this game really good. Graphically, and maybe I didn't get far enough in it, but what I thought about graphic, I was like, that's a solid 6.
Yo, what's up, Ghost of New Orleans? Yeah, well, we're going to talk about the games that they've got in the PlayStation subscriptions, man. It's been crazy this month compared, and then if you compare them to Booster, we'll talk about that too. So, you know what? We'll go into Link, have you tried out any of the games of Plague's Tale?
No, I downloaded it today.
Okay, same here. I didn't play it yet.
I'm going to probably give it a shot tonight or something. I'll try it out.
All right, well, cool.
Let me ask you a question.
Yo.
Let me ask you a quick question before we get real deep into it, because I don't know, maybe it's just me. I kind of feel like Focus Home, is that Focus Interactive?
Focus Interactive, that's what makes it, yeah.
I think anything they publish or they make, like, it doesn't look good to me. Like, I don't think any of this, like, their titles always seem like a buggy mess, and like they're just janky. This is like, they're that.
You must be talking about Bloober.
They want to be No. Like, I mean, Focus. Like,
Boogers.
I played a lot of Focus Home Interactive games that they publish and make, and a lot of their games just aren't really that great. Like, it's like, they're like that studio Piranha Bytes. Like, Piranha Bytes, they make their games have interesting concepts, but they never look good, and they're plagued with bugs. Like, they're just not well put together games. And it's like, man, like, you got all the, like, what's that game called? Oh, shoot, I got the collector's edition, believe it or not, because I thought it was
collector's edition.
It's called Elix. That game called Elix. I got that game, and it was a collector's edition with a statue, and I was like, hey, you know, and then I was like, okay, let's see who published this. And it was like a THQ Nordic. They're another company. I think a lot of THQ Nordic games don't look good, and they feel like they're still stuck in that 360, like, PS3 generation. Like, their games don't look good. Yeah, like, I can't think of a THQ Nordic game that I can be like, oh man, this looks really, really good.
Well, they're still trying to find. They're all like doing the cross-gen stuff. We don't have very true next-gen stuff from any of these third parties, really. But it's funny. As Game Night says, he goes, I messed around with 2K Battlegrounds, WWE 2K Battlegrounds. I thought it'll be dumb fun, but it's far worse. So it's worse. You know what's funny is I bought that game when it launched, dude. I spent the $40 on that game. It is not good. The concept would have been cool, but it's not good. Yeah, I did not get into it. Even when I was playing with my son, like he was like, I thought you unlocked the characters. They did a whole bunch of microtransactions where you unlocked them as like their figurines, and you kind of break out of the box, which was a cool concept.
With the basketball, you had to like some kind of card system or something.
That was the NBA Battlegrounds. Yeah, so they kind of did this with wrestling. You know, the thing is, everybody has similar moves. Like, that's the problem with a lot of those games, is where everybody, based on the type of fighter they are, like a brawler, a technician, there's 4 different types of types that they are. Big wrestler, and then each of them have, they're all same move sets, depending on their type of wrestler, not the individual themselves, their special, like their moves. They all have just like, well, you know, the Big Show's going to have the same as Andre the Giant, so Big Show's not even in WWE anymore, but like he'll have the same as Andre the Giant, who have the same as the Yokozuna, and they all kind of have the same moves, and then just the special is different. So it's kind of boring. Like once you played each class, you kind of played them all. But yeah, it was a bad take. I hope this WWE is good this year. I hope it's good this year.
They said Focus Home. Oh, actually, the Unknown said Focus Home Interactive and THQ Nordic are AA. If they're AA, damn.
Dude, like Dominic says that THQ made Red Faction Guerrilla is the best goddamn game that needed a remake. I know they did the remake thing, but it needed a sequel just the way it is. Nobody ever replicated that destruction and the craziness that went on in that game. Where is that engine? Where is the sequel? Red Faction Guerrilla has got to be one of my most favorite games I have ever played, and nobody played it. Man, I would sit in the lobbies of Red Faction Guerrilla just staring at it going, I just want a 1 versus 1. I just want to have a building fall on somebody. Like, just give me that satisfaction. Nobody played it. Even when they did the remaster, I got it on PC, and I rebought it. And I think it's in PlayStation Now, too. Like, it's in there. Nobody's playing that game. Man, that is Red Faction Guerrilla.
Did you download Greedfall, the PS5 edition?
Well, there's some Phillness bullshit. Not Phillness, but Gymness bullshit. So I looked. I didn't buy Greedfall. I got it through PlayStation Now, right?
Yeah, I got it,
Yes, I don't know the link. You can't get the PS5 update through PlayStation Now.
Nope.
See? Horseshit.
I'm not interested in that game even with
wait.
I just wanted to see what it looked like. That's it. But that's some horse shit. PlayStation Now does not let you upgrade to the PS5 version.
Guess who published it, though? Guess who published it? Because it's one of those games, like, I always look at it, I'm like, damn, this feels like a PS3 game that's on the PS5, but they just made it clean. Focus on Interactive. Once again, like, those are games.
There goes Frog. Well, Frog's not going to like – we'll talk about the state of play. Frog's not going to like that one. He's probably going to take a sabbatical when we see that one.
I think it just Focus Home Interactive. Like, I think they publish games that aren't good. Like, a lot of games that they publish or they help develop, they aren't good. Like, Spiders can't develop a game to save their lives.
Well, they're like They're like a little studio. They're like a little publisher studio thing.
They just, I'm much like, man, I don't know what their budget is, but they don't make good. They will charge you.
Somebody already disliked you, Frog, because you didn't like Plague's Tale, so we got a dislike. Hit that like button, everybody, to balance the dislike of Plague's Tale.
Plague's Tale is a mediocre game, and I'm sticking by that.
Wait, you want to hit the dislike button. Wait till when Frog has to talk about the state of play and the focus on Deathloop. He's going to go lit.
No, wait till we talk about that.
Have to mute his ass.
You're gonna have to grind like we're gonna get gears.
We're gonna put Frog in the grindhouse, the prison. What the hell? I've got to make a room. But anyway, we're going to get into the Grindsboard right here. Hit that like button, guys. We're at 35 likes. We have 80 people watching. Let's go. Yes. Oh, shit. What's this? Wait a second. Game Night says you can't transfer your save unless you buy the DLC for it, which is already owned because I pre-order it in 2019. Is that for Greedfall? Oh, my God. What are they doing?
He's talking about Doom.
I'm done. I am done with last gen. I am done with cross bullshit. Let's go. I want new games, new generation. Stop with this cross-gen save bullshit, horse shit. I'm done. You want to add new content to old games and make it for the next gen? Good. But this cross-save, don't give me the save. Sony got to get this shit together. Because this save stuff is horse shit. Just Wait
I think I
says
know why.
you get the upgrade if you bought the
happens,
PS version of Greedfall. If you didn't buy the game, you shouldn't expect to get the upgrade. Oh, yeah, well, I have it through PlayStation Now. And I'm going to tell you, Just Wait, there's some gymnasts that I pulled because sometimes with PlayStation Now, and I'm going to tell you this little story. Sometimes PlayStation Now, I was able to get Hitman 2. It was in PlayStation Now. I was able to get all the maps for Hitman 3. Like, I play Hitman 3 that much. But I was able to get Hitman 2, all the maps in Hitman 3, if you owned Hitman 2. I didn't own Hitman 2. I got Hitman 2 through PlayStation Now. And I was able to act as if I had it and got the maps for all the Hitman 2 and Hitman 1, which I got through PlayStation Plus or whatever like that. So I was able to do something with the PlayStation Now. But yeah, the thing with you don't get the upgrade if you get it through PlayStation Now, you know, it's kind of, I guess they got that check on it. You got to pay $35 to get it. But I wasn't interested in the game. I just wanted to see what it looks like. Because, you know, you have the new console. You have the new console. You wanna just see what devs are doing with them stuff. Some are charging, some are not. And, you know, I just want to see what they're able to do, if they're able to revitalize a game that didn't finish, or a game that I wasn't interested in, and maybe now with the new tweaks and stuff like that, maybe I'll get to play some more. But that's about it.
But you know what, Jez? I think a game like Doom, I beat it, you know. So I think Doom is a good game that
it's a good game, but I'm not replaying it again for that half-ass ray tracing.
But if you've already played it,
I'm gonna call that Ray Liotta tracing because that was some horse shit. Yeah, that's some Ray Liotta tracing. Goddamn it, good fellas.
To really go back to it, but games like Greedfall and Plague's Tale, I don't know why they did updates for this. Those games aren't popular. You know, I don't get it. I guess maybe they're just like, hey, we got a free game to give you for a PS5, and it happens to be Plague's Tale. You're like, really? Man, I don't want this shit.
It is what it is. We got to deal with the stuff. At least we're getting some better games, I would have to say. So anyway, we're going to go to the Grindsboard. We had a long intro. We got a lot to talk about. This is milking into the Grindsboard. Let's see what made to the Grindsboard this time. We got 82 people watching. Hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We need 8 more subscribers to hit the 900 subscribers live and do the final run of the Grinds to the 1,000. So let's go to the Grindsboard for episode 26. Here we go. Here we are at the Grindsboard, built from sweat, fire, and blood. Anyway, we're not sponsored by Gamepass this week. We lost our sponsorship last week, thanks to Optimus Code and some of the publicity that he did for PlayStation Now. So we lost our sponsorship here, so speak freely about Game Pass. We have no sponsorship, no red green chairs, no Phillness fleece coats that say Xbox Game Pass, so I can walk around ShopRite and people can ask me what the hell that is. I could be a walking advertisement for Phil. But those have all been retracted, and I don't have those anymore. So we are free to speak our minds. We are not sponsored by Game Pass. That was just some Philness that happened last week. But here's the Grindsboard. And we're going to start on fire. I'm not building up to this stuff. We're starting number 1, Nintendo Oled. A brand new term on the Grindsboard right here. Ninteness. Yes, that's them. Then Kojima Xbox game in the cloud. We'll talk about that. I think that's another rumor bullshit horseshit. PS Now releases versus Xbox. That is something to talk about right there. That is just night and day right there. I don't know what the hype is. I still don't get it. Sony's State of Play announced. That's where Frog is going to go off on a tirade because they're showing his favorite game, Deathloop. And Game Pass saved me money. The tweet that went wild that I tweeted out today of somebody's gaming setup that just has a TV and a couch and some beer, saying Game Pass saved me money. And I saw this too. Is Xbox creating a non-buying group with Game Pass? Like people just like, if it's in Game Pass, I'll play it. If it's not, I'm not buying it. Exclusive club, I guess. I don't know. We'll talk about that. And then the Sony studio purchases. Sony went around like Don Corleone and was doing The Godfather, making people part of the family. And we'll talk about how each of these companies are telling these studios to be part of the family. Nintendo just trying to jump in and be on the family of like a current gen situation, whatever the limited stuff that they did. I just threw their ass in the screenshot. But we got two companies welcoming and recruiting studios to the families. And we'll talk about that. That's going to be the GrindsTable topic. So, the first thing, we're starting off right now. Hit that like button. Fire and brimstone. Holy shit. Hit my sirens. What's up, Nelson Gaming? Ghostface. The Unknown Nick. Oh, man. They're happy I'm not sponsored this year. Okay. You're going to hear a lot of these sirens. All right. So, let's talk about the first topic. Right into this shit. Nintendo OLED. So, and I think I'm going to tie in the insiders to this thing because there's some. I'm done with these insiders. They need a new job. Nintendo OLED. So, this Nintendo Pro that was being spoken about all through the interwebs for I think over a year and a half. Mm-hmm. It turned out to be just announced this morning. It's a Nintendo Switch with a 7-inch screen. Nintendo went all out. They said, let's add 0.8 inches to the screen. They pushed their limits. They said, holy shit, what are we going to do? They're like, sir, I'm giving it all I got. 0.8 inches. They went from 6.2 to 7. Holy shit. They went 7 inches. Full 7 inches. Then they go, we're going to put an OLED on here. Hello, says the PS Vita. An OLED screen in the Switch. Then they go, well, they're pulling out all the stops. We're going to put a Cat 5 cable in the dock. Holy shit, stop there. We got 7 inches of Ninteness. We got an OLED screen. And we got a friggin' Cat 5 cable in the dock. Nintendo said, that's too much. When they pitched this, Nintendo was like, holy shit, that's too much. How much? How much? Same price? Because this is an upgrade? Same price? They're like, no, we're going to charge them $50 more for this Ninteness. What? $350 for full 7 inches of Ninteness in your ass, OLED, and a Cat 5 cable dock. Same ass battery, same ass resolution, no boost on your TV. Nintendo is half measures. You know this from Breaking Bad. Half measures. Never give half measures. Nintendo, you failed. And I'm sorry. You gotta be the laziest goddamn company in gaming I've ever seen. And this is not even as bad as the XL. This is just a waste of time. And it's gonna sell. Because Nintendo got Mario's head so far up their ass, those people just gonna buy it. OLEDs. 0.8 inches. 7 full inches of Mario Phillness going right in your face. Nintendo failed. I commend them all the time with their games. They do their games even though it's recycled shit. I know Frog gets on it because it's all shit from the Wii U. But my God, this has been the laziest goddamn upgrade I've ever seen. And for the insiders, goddamn Mick Foley, talking to Sacco again. He's backtracking again, that Jeff Grubb. I don't know why people listen to this guy. He's like a drunken mankind on a Friday night, on a Monday Night Raw after getting thrown off the fucking cage. That's how he, dude, that's how he, that's his insight. He's backtracking going, well, from what I heard that, they're still going to release a Nintendo Pro maybe next year. 2023 or something like that. I'm like, what? You know what? Stop it. Just stop. You're not doing yourself any favors. Stop with the insider stuff. Tell people what you're playing. Tell people your opinion on gaming. Maybe do some, perspective foresight. But stop with the insider stuff. You've been hyping up a goddamn powerful like a Nintendo Switch Pro, and it's 7 inches of Mario Dick. Talk about it, Link.
Yeah, I mean it's very disappointing. To see that they really didn't do much with this new hardware. So I don't like playing on the handheld, so I prefer to dock it and play it on television. And my God, those 720p resolutions, I just can't take it anymore.
OLED. Wait, is it OLED 720p? It's gonna make it look better.
But I mean, I don't play on the handheld. I always play it on television, so that doesn't affect me.
Exactly.
Having an OLED screen when I don't play it in the handheld. So it's going to be the same thing. I mean, I have no use for it because, I mean, they didn't do any hardware upgrade as far as internally. And it's in the dire need of some upgrade. I mean, when it launched, it was already a weak piece of hardware. I understand it's a tablet, but it struggles to run third-party games that come to the console, and continuing to have a base with this type of hardware, I don't. It was a lazy upgrade.
When did the Switch come out? It came out in 20. When?
2018?
18? No.
2017? 2017?
2017, right? It came out. The Switch came out in 2017, right? The original one, not the Lite. Right? Let me see. I thought it was 2016. Was it 2016 or 2017? Oh, March 3rd, 2017. So we're talking 4 years later, and they're keeping the same technology of 4 years ago. Like, if this is a mid-gen refresh or some sort of refresh, like, they might have another one coming. They might have a Pro coming. But the thing is this is what I thought. I thought that you got your Switch, which handles on the go and docked. You got the Switch Lite for the people that just want to get on the road, better battery life, lower resolution. I think it's a lower resolution. It's a worse screen, right? It's a low resolution screen for battery life.
It's the same resolution,
but it has better battery life.
I think the screen's a little smaller though.
It's smaller. That's what it is. Yeah, there's something that gives it better battery life on the Lite, but it doesn't dock. So the Switch Lite doesn't dock. So what I thought is that you got the Lite for those who primarily use the Switch on the go. You have the regular Switch for the hybrid kind of people that want to dock it and play on the go. And then you come out with this third model, which will benefit those who primarily play docked, like I do, like you do, that just play it docked to their TV. Like, that will satisfy the gamut. But by making one that just has a better screen, 7.8 inches, and then having the dock, maybe it's a white version of the console, and having the dock with a Ethernet cable for the blazing online speeds for the games that they have, like Smash and whatever they require their most powerful. We need those speeds because the Wi-Fi and then the Switch is pretty trash. It's not that great. But the thing is like there's no benefit to having the dock. Like, I've always thought, at least make a dock that boosts the resolution, like that kind of increases the output of the Switch, so that at least maybe you put some circuitry inside the dock rather than just being a stupid kind of power hub and display port, but actually put another fan, maybe put another GPU in there and have it running like a boosted mode to your TV, so at least you get better fidelity when you have it docked. Even if this had those capabilities or came with a new dock, come on. Like, I don't understand why they think that they're doing an OLED here, unless this one is probably going to replace the middle Switch. Like, they're going to probably just get rid of that one at $300, let that go, and then just have a $350 and a $250, right? Or when's the Switch Lite? Is Switch Lite $200 or $250? I think it's $200, right? Is it $200? Let me see. I have no interest in that goddamn thing, but let me see. How much is the Switch Lite? Grind this. How much is the Switch Lite? Switch Lite is... Oh, shit. Here it is. It's $200. All right. So they got a $200 price point, a $300 price point, which that Switch is too expensive at $300. But it's selling like hotcakes, so it is what it is. And then $50 more for this OLED version. Lazy. Hey, man. That's what they do. That's what they do when you're selling like craziness. That's what they're Nintendo. I'm trying to play my Nintendo games on my TV. Yeah, it's 200. It's the same. Yeah, that's the thing. Game night. So like he says, it's the same battery capacity and the same spec sheet. Like there's no benefit with them using the OLED. There's no benefit to.
I mean, it's not even a higher. I mean, which
It's
it
not
really
a high
wouldn't
res.
make sense. It's not. It wouldn't make sense to put a higher resolution display if they don't upgrade internals, anyways. Because in portable,
Right.
the game's running 720. So,
And it'll kill the battery life more.
well, they would have to upgrade the GPU in it because it outputs at 720 in portable. So putting a higher resolution screen really wouldn't help anything if you're not going to upgrade the resolution of the games.
I know.
You see?
Yo, what's up, Gamer Persona? How you doing? Exactly, and that's the reason why. Like, if they would increase the resolution of the screen, then it would have said, well, we'll reported lower battery life. But that's why I thought it's sitting right there in front of them. You power the dock. You make the dock have some graphical upgrade capabilities for the Switch. You know, just like I have the same model for my laptops. Like you have that Razer Core or whatever where it uses the external GPU and it closes the internal GPU. So basically, you get an Ethernet port. That's right, Gadget. But you basically take the laptop. The laptop has like a 980 Ti, has a 980 or 970M or something like that, or a 2060. You plug it in through the Lightning port into an external one that's running a desktop, a graphics card. Basically, your graphics card in your laptop shuts off, and it uses the external one. It's sitting right there for Nintendo. You just make an upgrade dock, like a power pack, and I just don't I don't understand what they're thinking, you know, and just it is what it is. It's gonna sell, so Nintendo, Nintendo's the only one that gets away with this kind of stuff. But this has got to be the laziest, most unenthusiastic upgrade, mid-gen refresh to a console, because this serves no benefit. Like, you got your OLED screen. Like, yes, I thought, and when I first heard it, I thought maybe, oh wow, those Nintendo games would pop really with an OLED screen. And the one thing I do have to say, not grinding my gears fully on Nintendo, but the screen that they did put on the Switch, even though it's a lower resolution, those games look pretty damn good on that screen, because that's the kind of games, their games do look well on that screen. Even though it's a lower resolution, I know we're Digital Foundry resolution nutcases, counting pixels, but they don't look that bad on the screen, But
are they going to continue to sell the older model and this, or what is this replacing the other one? What?
I think they're doing both, because this is just the OLED version. But I think eventually they're going to roll. See, what I think they're going to do, and again, I'm not no insider, but I'll probably be better, more accurate. I'll probably be better accuracy than the insiders. But what I think they're going to do is they're going to stop phasing out the $300 Switch, try to get everybody on the $350 upgrade, and then basically what they'll do is do a Switch Pro probably the next year or so with the better internals, OLED screen, things like that, and drop this $350 to $300 and have that other one at $400. And you'll have a 2, a 3, and a 4. And they'll kind of phase out that the $300 one that they've been selling. But I think the OLED is going to be the de facto Switch moving forward. But again, not this holiday. This holiday is going to be nutcases. It is going to be where's Arnold? It's going to be Booster. It's going to be Turbo Man. This thing, the OLED and the other Switch are going to be they're going to sell both of them, because this comes out in October. So this thing comes out in October. So basically, this is what you're going to look like for your OLED. But Nintendo's going to get the comment. You're right. They deserve it. They deserve it, everybody.
You have me right. Con men, thieves,
My thought about
degenerates,
this whole
lowlifes,
Nintendo
thugs,
Switch
criminals.
OLED is just trash.
What was that?
And,
Arnold was speaking.
It's trash.
It's trash.
I'm gonna tell you why it's trash. Nintendo has a habit, and no other company, not Sony, not Microsoft. And I understand Nintendo's a gaming company, right? But Nintendo has a habit to just keep giving you the same shit that they gave you 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, the same shit. And they don't even do it right. You know, BG said it best. They do the bare minimum.
Yep.
And people fucking eat it up. And I'm so. That's why I would say from the GameCube was really my last Nintendo system I liked. And even then, they did the bare minimum again. We don't want to pay for DVD fees. We don't want to do this and blah 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 and this and that. And it's like a lot of games.
Upgrade.
You know, Nintendo has a problem with the industry. Nintendo's always gonna, go to the beat of their. I'm surprised Nintendo lasted as long as they did. Because I look at there's no more Kmart's, there's no more Sears, there's no more Toys R Us. I'm like Nintendo's in that same category as those stores when they were big. And I'm like, I'm surprised that they're still around. I think the only reason they're still around is because of nostalgia and people when they grow up, they end up going to PlayStation or Xbox. But when they're younger, they go to Nintendo. Like when my kids were born, they started playing on Nintendo. They never played video games on a system outside of Nintendo. But once they reach that their teenage years, they started playing on PlayStation and Xbox. So I think Nintendo has you and me and everybody else who has children and grandchildren. They have you for that first 10 years of your life, and then they're like happy because they made their money. And then after that, they can give a shit less if you are still on their system because they like you. Go ahead to PlayStation, go ahead to Xbox. We don't care. Nintendo's that kind of company.
That's what I did. I grew up from Nintendo, dude. I was like, I was done.
They have the demographics up until age 10, 12, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12.
Then they got the man-childs that stick around.
Yeah. They have those man. And don't get me wrong, I like Nintendo games.
It is some charming, yeah.
I like their games. I hate their consoles. I think they make the worst console. After basically the GameCube, it was like, okay, you could have did better, but I'll let you pass. When that Wii came out, trash.
That was, oh my God.
Trash. It was one of the worst consoles.
It didn't even have HD.
Man,
Yo, I had to order those composite. I had those component cables. Those component cables you had to find separately.
I'm gonna tell you what made me mad is. What made me mad was that, like you said, we didn't have HD, but they didn't have the big multi-plats like the Call of Duties and all that, and they still sold more consoles. But it was not a better console than a 360 or a PS3. It was a way worse console. The only reason it sold more consoles because it sold to a completely different market of non-gamers.
It appealed to non-gamers.
Non-gamers, and the people I call non-gamers are your mom and your dad and your grandma who played freaking Candy Crush on their phone. We talked about this the other day, and I think Jaffe talked about this with I think it was a Hard 8 when he was talking about like people talking about mobile gaming. It's so big, but it's not the same experience,
No,
and I think the Nintendo Wii was the same as like a mobile gaming platform. It had a lot of shovelware, wasn't the same experience that people wanted to play, and the only reason people play. Let me tell you something. When I got a Wii, I think I was single. Yeah, I was single at the time. And you know why girls would come to my house?
To play with your Wii, Frog? Is that where we're going with this?
Look, no. Let me tell you. I would hang out with some girls or go on a date, and when they come into my apartment, they'd be like, "Oh, you got a Wii? Let's play Wii bowling." They weren't gamers. That's all they want to play is Wii bowling.
Frog's lured them into the house. He says, "You want to play my Wii?" They go, "Excuse me?" No, Wii bowling.
Back in the day, if you were a guy and you had a Wii, all you had to do is have that Wii bowling game, and you could even get some ass. You can play Wii bowling and get drunk and drink some wine, and you're gonna get some ass. Let me tell you something. You couldn't invite no girl to your house and have no PS3 and get no ass from a PS3. Like Nintendo was. I'm just saying, like they weren't about the gamers. They were like, "Yo, we gives a fuck about the people who knew our name. We're going after that." And I kind of feel they're similar like that now. Like they go after a particular market. They see the market they have. They stick to that. That's why I think Nintendo's OLED is trash. I'm like, come on, man.
Listen, man, we
Frog out to the Lord to play with his Wii. Oh shit.
Look.
This is not worth it.
Nintendo come out with the next system. Don't expect that thing to have any trophies.
Oh, they still don't have that? Oh my God.
Oh no,
Nintendo does not care about keeping up with the times.
Nope.
Because they're $1 billion. All they care about is like the bottom line of sales. They will fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. It's like the drive-through. You go to the drive-through, they fuck you at the drive-through. My whole thing is like, I just can't stand Nintendo's mentality now. Like, this is the company that introduced me to gaming. Basically back in the
we can't. Yeah, I know.
You know,
the grandfather in the gaming thing.
It's not the company that I want to continuously. Number one, I don't want to buy their consoles. I wish I could play their game. I wish they were just a month.
Yo, Nelson Gaming Frog. He says that Wii was a good way to get ass over. Not gonna lie, he told the truth.
No, I'm being serious. Like, if you were a single guy, and let me tell you, I had a 360 and I had a Wii. Girls would come over, and if they saw that Wii there, they'd be like, "Ooh, let's play Wii bowling."
Wait a second? Did you use protection on your Wii? Did you use protection? Did you have the Wii condom on it so it didn't break the windows?
Actually, no. That was when the Wii first came out. They didn't have all that.
Well, you broke the strap-ons, but then you had to put the condoms on them because then the Wii's would go. Dude, my friend, Frog, you want to get? Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! My mom had a Wii, and she's like, "I love the Wii." I was like, "That fucking console sucks." The fact that my mom's playing it, that.
Dude, do you remember how much Wii Play charted in the NPDs because it came with an extra remote? It was the worst game ever. Wii Play, dude. But it came with a controller, and basically it was like NPD for 2 years.
That damn controller, yes. Because my dumb ass bought it, and I was just like, "Holy shit, man!" Like I see Call of Duty, and I'm like, "This Call of Duty gonna come to the Wii, right?" And because they had that freaking motion control, every game had to have motion control, and I was like, "Man, fuck this game." Even if Call of Duty did come to the Wii, I didn't want to play that shit on the Wii because motion controls. I fucking hate motion controls. Let me tell you, I would say some of the best motion controls I've ever used are probably on these virtual these VR headsets, like the PlayStation 1 and all the other ones. They do it right. Nintendo had no business in that freaking motion control market, dude, making all these shitty ass games.
What about the Wii balance board and the girl with the hula hoop?
Oh my God,
dude, that was the next thing. So come on.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I own that track. Look, I didn't play Mario Galaxy. I didn't play
Frog is doing the hula hoops.
I didn't play the two Zelda games that were on the Wii because I was like, fuck motion control. I fucking hated motion control.
I did beat Twilight Princess. I played it, but Skyward Sword, it was enough. I was. You know what? That was like one of the only Zelda games I didn't beat, and I love Zelda. Skyward Sword was absolutely.
Did you play? I didn't play Twilight Princess, I think, until I got it on if I'm not mistaken, the Wii U. They redid it on the Wii U. That's when I played it. But I was just like, I'm not fucking playing a motion controller because at the time I didn't have a GameCube, and I got a Wii, and it was like, oh, it's backward compatible. So I was looking for the GameCube version of it, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, fuck, man, I gotta buy this. And I started playing this shit, and I was like, yo, I'm not fucking sitting here swinging this sword off. I was like, fuck this game. And I end up fucking trading that shit in, and I'm getting some fucking Excite truck, and that shit truck, dude. The Wii was the worst Nintendo's.
Yo.
I still to this day, I don't know
the
how
Wii sex swing.
So
dude, Guapzilla says Rock Band got the most ass though. Rock Band have everybody over, man. Rock Band was the shit. I love Rock Band, man. Yeah. Rock Band, you get. I used to have tons of parties with that.
Yeah, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, you get some ass on.
Dude. All they had to do is hear me sing Boston, It's a Long Time. It's been such a long time. Baby, I've been going. Time keeps on. Yeah, man. Oh, man, I used to love. That was like the longest song ever. And then I'll try to do like the mic stand with the guitar. And I'm here playing this plastic ass thing with buttons and stuff. But man, I loved, dude.
Nintendo's up to their same old, what do you call it, Ninteness? Like they're up to their same old bullshit. They don't care about the consumer. The bottom line is money. If it sells, they're gonna keep doing it.
And hey, man, soon they're gonna have you stand on your friggin'. They already got you playing with cardboard boxes. They have you playing with rubber bands. They got you playing with a plastic ring that I
Dude,
know
they got you driving around your own fucking house with a Mario Kart.
with a
You see what I'm
Mario.
saying? Like,
You know what?
they do some of
Nintendo.
the stupidest shit, and I hate it.
Hey,
I
man.
hate Nintendo's stupid ideas because they fucking work, and I fucking hate it.
I'm just glad that they're not. See, and this is the thing. Like, I'm happy that and Microsoft might be chasing a little bit of that mobile stuff, but I do like that Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are not jumping full head into like they did with this motion control thing. Like when that Wii saw flapping around, man, Nintendo, Sony was like, "Here's our glowing dildos," and Microsoft's like, "Here's Kinect," and everybody just stopped what they were doing and jumped on the Wii bandwagon. I'm glad that the Switch bandwagon has not been jumped on. Like, you know, like stop everything. Everything's about mobile gaming and taking your games on the go. I know that's where Microsoft's going with the cloud.
You know what? That's their market.
Let them go.
I think Nintendo owns that market.
Let them take it.
Market.
Let them take it.
And a lot of people will still to this day say that the Switch is, you know, it's a home console and a handheld. No, it's a fucking handheld console. They wouldn't have came out with that freaking Switch.
That's why they need the dock.
Why even call it a Switch? You can't dock that fucking Switch.
The first one, the
thing.
Switch
like,
Lite, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so my whole thing is like, it's a handheld fucking console. Nintendo sat there and lied to you and said, "Oh, we're keeping a 3DS around. It's not going anywhere." And that shit died, and all production went into the Switch. It should have died. They should have marketed the Switch as a handheld console that you can play on your TV, because that's basically what it fucking is. Like, it is not a home console. Nintendo hasn't released a home console since the Wii U. Like, it is a handheld console that you can dock on your TV, and motherfuckers that are fucking. I think they you got so many people out there that are sucking Nintendo's cock. You got they're sucking that Nintendo Johnson. They're sucking freaking. You know, I can't stand. Look, I want to meet Miyamoto. I think he's a genius, right?
He is.
But there again, let me tell you, he's a fucktard. You know why?
But he's not developing the console, though. It's Nintendo Corporation developing this trash.
But he sits there and he's like, "Hey, you know, what if we make another game?" They're like, "What would we call it? This Bowser's World, and we could just attach it to 3D Mario
you were
World,
pissed about that. Yeah.
They're geniuses, but at the same time, I fucking hate it. But you got cocksuckers that will sit there and complain about a fucking $30, $29.99 fucking upgrade for Ghost of Tsushima, but you'll fucking go out there and suck Nintendo off and buy a new fucking OLED Switch for $350 when you can I'll give Microsoft credit for this.
I'll buy Booster for $350. Holy shit, over OLED.
I'd rather go buy a fucking Xbox Series S.
Yeah, man.
OLED.
Who wants Booster? You got to buy a Booster over that.
Play some modern games. Like, you can't play shit on Nintendo except for Nintendo games. And I just don't stop that shit. And I just don't get it, man.
A Grindhouse dog.
Like, let me tell you something. Guess what? That Nintendo OLED Switch is gonna be sold the fuck out.
Oh my god, it's Turbo Man, dude.
I lied.
It's fucking gonna be sold out. Let me tell you why. Because it's fucking Nintendo. They create hype. They're gonna short side it and say, hey, we're gonna get out.
It's still gonna sell because like it's crazy. Like the other ones are gonna like the Xbox, PlayStation is gonna be hard to find still, and they're gonna sell the shit ton of these things, and that's what Nintendo's gonna do. Plus, if you think about it, they really have done such an incremental, just such a small upgrade to it that this thing it should be fully stocked because all they're doing is just replacing the friggin' screen. Like that's all they're doing.
Guess what? That shit is the same size as the regular Switch now. The
exact same dimension.
They took the bezel. They took the black bezel and they just
stretched it a little bit more.
And they made a white console version.
Yeah, they made a white console. I'm like, holy shit. You know what they did? Let me tell you. Nintendo's geniuses. What's the hottest thing right now in the market that people can't
get? PS5. White console, PS5. White and black.
Guess what that Switch looks like. People are going to think PS5. When they go in the store and like, I can't get a PS5 this Christmas. Oh, well, I'll go get a Switch.
PlayStation Junior.
Let me tell you, like they're smart, man. They're like, oh shit, PS5 is hot right now. Hey, we can put this in stores. It's the same color as the PS5. It's a psychological thing, and people don't think they have people in their companies like psychologists that tell them, hey, you know, if you make your next Switch black and white, it'll attract people because PS5 is the hottest thing. In your mind, subconsciously, you see a PS5 black and white. Now you go into the store and you can't get them. You see a Switch 350. Hey, that's a good deal. I'll buy that. They're fucking geniuses. I just hate that they don't give us the things we want. They never give us the fucking things we want. We ask for trophies, stupid things, great online. They don't fucking do anything. How long have we been using? How long have we been using those fucking those
friend codes?
Fucking friend code. Come on, man.
Oh my god, they still got friend codes. And also too, guess what? They're gonna market the new Zelda with the OLED. Oh my god, you gotta see this. Oh
no. Did you see? You notice?
Rub goddamn Luigi and Mario's nipples. You gotta see this. Ninteness.
Nintendo marketed that Metroid game. They really.
You can't wait.
That shit's gonna sell.
Oh shit, yeah.
That shit's gonna sell. And don't get me wrong, I'm buying it because it's a new Metroid game. But my whole thing is like, holy shit! Like, I can't believe you guys released the OLED system, and people are sucking your cock like it's the fucking coming of Christ. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I'm like,
yo, what's funny? Here, wait. This will roll right into the.
Here's the thing. Why do we need this? You really don't need this. Nobody needs this.
Well, I was gonna go with who said that? Somebody said, wait a second. They said
it's got 64 gigs of storage. Hey, they upgraded the
storage.
Oh
shit.
Oh
yeah, because you want to know why some games won't even freaking install onto the base Switch because it's so small of a memory card in it that you need a memory. Like Zelda, I think there are a couple of games that are bigger than the goddamn memory card that they will not install. Or they're bigger. That's ridiculous. But wait, somebody wrote something in the chat. They said,
play 2K. Let's see how much you got to download on your
yeah.
Dude, it takes up half your card.
Like we'll go into this because this is what happened here. So because like Frog was mentioning earlier, and somebody in the chat mentioned too, like this whole upgrade of $10 for the PlayStation Ghost of Tsushima. It's not on the Grindsboard. We're gonna tie it in here because Kojima xCloud game. I'm gonna number 2. You know what? It's Mankind and Sako again. So you know what? let them fucking Sako. You know, I look. Source that says Venture Beat. He's running with this Kojima game. You want to know what? Let him make an Xbox game. Let it be cloud. Let it be the best game ever because they goddamn need one. You know what? I'm tired of talking about games and they never come to fruition or the games are shit because that's all Microsoft does. They talk all the shit and they don't do anything. So you know what? You want to have the media and those insiders carry your news and carry your shit without you showing anything and people still get hyped because that's the thing. Right now, Microsoft is they're relying right now on the hype of these insiders to tell them what's coming, studios, Kojima games. You know what? Please, the lawyers are signing the papers. Fuck that. Who gives a shit? Show the goddamn game.
A game that we're not going to see for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, here's another one. Get the hell out of here.
It's all this.
My goddamn balls are going to be down to my fucking knees by the time that these games come out. Holy shit. I'm going to be fucking 80 years old. Be fucking dipping my balls in the toilet bowl. Oh, you check out that. I'm going to be looking on my phone. I'm like, what's wet? My fucking balls dropped all the way in the bowl because I'm fucking 90 years old. The goddamn games are coming out. Fuck out of here with this shit. So anyway, talking about some horse shit. I want to fuck Kojima. That topic's done. We're done with that. Fuck Kojima and all his shit too. I don't even like Kojima that much. He could blow it out his ass for all I care about. Let's
like
ship
his
a goddamn game.
I like
his last.
Dude, let that movie star go to fucking Hollywood. Whatever he has to do. But anyway, let's talk to this Ghost of Tsushima shit because I didn't put this on the Grindsboard. Ghost of Tsushima.
We must talk about this,
dude. All right, so talking about OLED updates.
Wait, before we talk, it seems like I'm just taking it from. Did you guys have a problem with it?
No.
With what? Problem with what?
With the new content?
Hell no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Fucking DLC expansion. We paid $40 for Lost Legacy.
Okay, because I'm about to say I don't have a problem with it. I think the way they marketed was not great, but I don't have a problem with it.
It's weird. So this is my opinion on it right now. $20 for the upgrade for the new island, new content for a great game. Yeah, remember now, this is an incredible game. This is not a game that was missing content and we're putting in more missions now. This is a complete game that received awards. Yeah, and it got the free multiplayer expansion.
Yeah.
So they're updating a gem of a game, adding more content to an already amazing game that was well received by everybody, by reviewers, and by majority of the gamers. Like, this game is fully complete. This is not missed content, Ubisoft bullshit. Oh, well, here's our season pass. No. So new content for a great game, I'm all about it. Give me more. People want more. They thought they had to wait for a sequel. The thing is that the upgrades that they're talking about for the $10 for the PlayStation 5 version, I want to see it because the thing that kind of spoiled me was that they already given the 60 frames per second mode or like upscale already. So if you're just going to add DualSense, some sound, and
No, the only thing they did is did 60 FPS.
Unlock the
they didn't upgrade
screen.
the resolution.
They didn't. No, it's just going on a higher resolution. So that's. I just want to see the difference.
No, it did not. They did not upgrade the resolution.
They didn't. They didn't. It was dynamic, and it's just more dynamic.
It was 1800p checkerboard.
Yes.
You're talking about the PS5 version, right?
No, on the PS4 Pro,
it's 4K.
Ghost of Tsushima was 1800p checkerboarded.
And that's what plays on the PS5.
But when it came to the PS5, the only update was
60 FPS. That's it.
XDF,
yes.
The same resolution. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
So the expansion, if you're going to get the PS5 expansion, it's $30. That's the $10 fee that adds to the, it gives you the Japanese lip sync. It gives you the 4K 60 frames or targeting 4K with 60 frames. It gives you the DualSense haptic feedback, which I think is going to probably be incredible in that game. And my thing is
3D audio.
Enhanced 3D audio. And my thing is too is I bet you there are going to be things on that new island that are going to take advantage of that DualSense. Like I think that would be smart on their end to add that stuff. So it's $30 for the PS5 version. If you want to just get the update and just keep playing in the PS4 version and not get the upgrade, they said fast. See, the thing is that Ghost of Tsushima had fast loading already. I can't imagine what the hell it's going to be on the PS5 version. But the thing is that I just want to see more of what that upgrade looks like and maybe some of the island.
I don't need to see it.
I know. You give it to you now. So
give me the. I want to use the PS5 controller features. I want the enhanced audio. I want the Japanese sync.
You want the
lip syncing. I want the faster loading, even though the game does load relatively quickly.
Yeah.
I want all the enhancements because I want to utilize this console. I love that game.
You want more of that game. That's
exactly. That's the thing. Yeah.
I'm the same way. I wanted more. After it ended, I was like, damn, I want more of this. And so I don't feel 29 is.
See, I didn't finish it yet. See, I didn't beat it yet.
I platinumed that game. I platinumed that game. That is the only game I platinum ever.
Damn.
I do not trophy hunt. I do not like, and the reason why I don't trophy hunt is because I hate collectibles. That is the thing that I hate having to collect items. Okay. But I did not have any issues with running around collecting stuff on Ghost of Tsushima. I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
The world and the environment in that game was very different everywhere you went. It was very different. Yeah. I can honestly say I agree with you. I think $29 is an okay price. I just look at it as, if you're basically, you're getting DLC, you're getting a basic ad.
That's the key. That's the key.
Maybe it won't.
Are there more trophies with the island? I think there is.
There's more.
There's new enemies and new abilities.
Right. New enemies and new abilities. But my whole thing is like, I do think that this game, $29 is not a lot because I've seen a lot of other games come out and give you nothing.
That $10, they did some with a $10 upgrade and it was garbage. Control was 40.
Like,
shit, that was 40 for the whole thing.
My whole thing is like, I think if this is kind of like, I think the way that my only problem is I think the way Sony advertised, I kind of wish it was something
a little confusing.
They advertised kind of like like when Uncharted came out and then they did the Lost Legacy. I kind of wish they did it like that.
But that was a standalone.
Separate.
But Uncharted Lost Legacy, no, you could have bought the you could have paid for the season pass for the DLC.
It was the same, right? Because it was inside that,
and it came with the multiplayer too.
Right.
But I think it was the way they. I think it was the way they marketed it. That's what I was saying. That's why I think that Ghost of Tsushima is the way they marketed it and the way it came. It was very confusing at first. I'm not
okay.
I was confused.
I was not confused at all from the very beginning. I knew exactly what they laid it out very simply. You can pay $20 to upgrade your PS4 version, and get the expansion. And if you want to go to the PS5 version of the game, you can pay an additional $10. Or, I mean, it's that simple. It's not. I don't know.
I guess the way when they showed that, like, I didn't read that right. So when I just saw the advertisement, like the trailer, and I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused. And then when I read it, I was like,
I went back and read the the blog.
Because
and I
they
was
said
like,
if
okay.
you
I had to
own it,
read
yeah.
I had to read it a couple of times, right? And then when I finally, I was
But-
like, oh, 29 is not that bad.
I
For
think
something,
whenever you
for something you like, and it was really well received.
So-
for the most part, people loved it. I don't think it was that bad.
I was hearing people explain it, and they confused me with the way they were explaining it. But I went and read, and I was like,
Because everybody was
People kept
focusing
talking
on the
about you can
$10
just pay
upgrade. That's the
$10.
thing.
People kept focusing on the $10 upgrade. You cannot
Just get
buy
$10
the $10
because that's
upgrade
I was
if you
confused
don't
as well.
already own
Yes.
You cannot.
Yeah,
you
that
cannot
confused
buy the $10 upgrade if you don't already own the $20 expansion.
So basically, anybody who already owns the game, you got two options: upgrade to the island for 20, or get the full package for your PS5 if you own one for 29.
No. There's also a $10 option if you bought the $20 version and we're playing it. Yes, if you own a PS4, let's say you own a PS4,
Okay.
you don't have a PS5, you buy the $20 expansion. Let's say you upgrade and get the new console. You can now pay $10 to go to the PS5 version of the director's cut.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can so they give you several pathways to get the game, or whenever the PS5 version is available, you can straight up pay the $30 and upgrade straight from the PS4 version of the game without the DLC all the way to the PS5 version.
So I'm guessing whenever I get this at the end of the year, because I see it in the store, but I don't see the $29 version.
The $29 version is not available because you can't buy the $29. You can't pay the $29 until the PS5 version is out.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was
Right.
similar to how they did
like
with
that.
similar to
So
they did with
basically,
with Final Fantasy, where you couldn't see Uffy's DLC or whatever until you updated it.
So basically, the pre-orders for people who never basically
Bought
played
it.
this
It's
game.
$70 for
Right,
them.
and
Yes.
Right, so you can just pay. Yeah, for the people who don't already own the game at all, they can just buy the $60 or $70 version of the game with all the DLC included.
I don't have a problem with that because didn't this game just come out, if I'm not mistaken, like last year? I don't have a
It
problem
came
with
out
that.
in, I believe, in June.
Yeah, it came out
last
about a
year.
year
Last
ago.
year. Yeah, so I don't have a problem with that because if you're saying $69, like, and I always tell people this: when it came out, it was $59. We didn't expect the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was fire. It was really good.
Yeah.
And then, and now you're saying, hey, we're gonna add a whole nother island. We're gonna add some.
They're adding more multiplayer content to.
Yes, they're adding more.
And that's why I don't have a problem because it was actually something that we didn't ask for. We didn't plan to see. They just sprung it on us. Hey, here's a multiplayer
on top of a complete game.
Yeah, and it was a really good experience. Like, so when you got the game at 59, it was already a complete game. For them to add the multiplayer for free, it was just a bonus. It was a bonus. It was like, here you go.
There was some other people that were outraged about the fact that if you bought the game when it launched at $60, now
like I did that.
So okay, early adopters are gonna pay full price, but there were some people who are said that if you
I'll pay $30.
60, if you bought the game for $60, right? They were upset at the fact that you had to pay $30 upgrade to the PS5, so your total out-of-pocket cost was $90 versus a newcomer only having to pay $70. This is no different than any other Game of the Year version of a game that includes all the DLC.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah. No,
that's where you're gonna pay the full price. I don't understand.
No. Come on. Well, look at Street Fighter. Street Fighter, what, you pay $50, whatever, and then it's like all these expansions and stuff, and somebody comes along and gets the Ultimate Edition.
It would be like Ratchet and Clank saying, "Hey, this is $69." And then by the end of the year, they're like, "Oh, we got another DLC, blah blah blah," and it's $69 for people who don't own it, but for people who don't own it, it's another $30. It's like, damn, I already spent $69 on it, and I got to spend another $30 on this DLC. I think I don't have a problem with anything that adds to the game, especially if it's a good game. Because I think that people will speak with their wallets. If it's a good game, people are gonna buy it. People are gonna buy that content. I mean, how much was High Busters when it came out? I know it came in Game Pass.
It was $30. There's 20, 30.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So I don't have.
But that's part of a subscription, though. I think it was High Busters.
But what I'm saying is, like, I don't have a problem.
I think
with
it
that
was
when
20
the game is
for
good.
3 hours.
And like that's why, like, when people say Call of Duty, I'm happy Call of Duty got rid of season passes. I like the whole battle pass ideal better because now I can just do $10 at the beginning of my season and play through it, and I keep getting my money back. And if you play the game a lot, you never really have to pay for it again. So I don't really have a problem with this. I think $29.99 is good. because I
High
think
bus
the
is
amount
20.
of content. Okay, but what I'm saying is, I think the amount of content you're going to get is going to be worth the $30.
Yeah, it's a whole island because those
you
islands
know,
are pretty big. They're
it's a
pretty.
whole,
There's a lot of stuff on those
and
islands.
yeah, and that game, and I like I said, I'm with Link. I platinum the game, like, and I don't usually go after platinums. Like, if I beat a game, I'll beat it, and if I'm close to the platinum, I may say, "Wow, I only got 2 more things to do." Then I'll go after it. But most of the time, once I beat it, I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
I think this.
Well, come
game
on! I
was
got
different.
screwed
It
with
just-
the freaking Halo Master Chief collection. Like I had to rebuy.
You and
I had
me
to buy
both.
Reach. I had to
You and
buy
me
Reach for $10. Like I didn't get
I had to-
Reach
yeah.
for and that was just like a game. And first off, that is just a campaign to an old game. There was nothing new about
Yes.
Halo Reach. It was just
Absolutely.
giving me a game that was already built. But because I bought Master Chief collection, I was not able to get the Halo Reach campaign, and I had to pay $10 DLC for it.
I don't
And-
understand what this generation.
But
is
if you
about
got Master
whining
Chief
and
collection
complaining.
through Game Pass, you got the campaign included in your subscription. So for the people who bought the game, you had to pay basically $70 $70 for Master Chief collection for the complete experience, where somebody who just subscribes today for dollar bill Phil would play the whole goddamn game. And that wasn't new DLC. They didn't make a new island. There was nothing new about Master Chief Collection campaign.
Nothing new.
It was the old. It was the old ass Master Chief Collection. It was old ass Halo Reach. It was nothing new about
I
it.
think you know what though. I do think people have subjectively complained about.
I got the Reach
they
around. That's right,
subjectively
Nick.
complain About, yeah, they complain
Now,
about the value of
The
things.
thing
I
is,
don't get it.
the thing is, the people who are complaining about the $10 upgrade path to the PS5 version are wanting the PS5 features to be added to the PS4 game. I guess that's what they're wanting to do, which just isn't possible. There
I don't
is
think
no.
it's possible.
It's not
Well,
possible. There's no basic. There is no PS5 version of the game. There's the PS5 director's cut. There's not a
Exactly.
vanilla
But
PS5 version of the
I'm
game.
going to tell you, like,
There's
what
only
the
a
issue
PS4
is.
version.
Well, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Every publisher is doing different things right now. Like, you look at Metro Exodus, like, they added all that stuff, the DualSense, the 3D audio. They just added that to the Game of the Year edition. Like, so, like, you got if you had it, you
Right.
got it. Same thing with with Greedfall. Things with same thing with Doom. We just spoke about Doom Eternal.
Right, it was just a patch.
And it's just a patch. And then you
Not a
could
patch.
no, but
Not
they
a
also
patch,
added
it was
DualSense.
It was a different version of the game.
But they added
but you got it for
DualSense
free.
report. They added DualSense
Right.
to it. They
But I
added
think
ray
that
tracing. So like
in this
everybody's
situation,
doing
they
different
did a
things.
patch. But they've done a patch to the game for PS4 owners to give
Yes.
them, for PS5 owners to boost the frame rate. So it's not like they didn't updo something.
No,
for the
that's
owners.
fine. But I'm saying that there's other people giving that upgrade. Now here we go. Like so, Activision, with Tony Hawk, it's a $10 upgrade if you own the game to get the
Right.
PS5 or next gen version. With Call of Duty, they added the $10. NBA, it had the $10. But I'm talking about older games that got the upgrade. So another game that got the upgrade was Final Fantasy Remake. That got that whole reskin and stuff. That was included. But you buy Oofy DLC, but that's extra. But just to get upgraded from Final Fantasy, if you bought it, you got all that stuff. And it was like a
but
reskin
it
of
shouldn't be
lighting.
expected that every game is
No,
going to be
but I'm
free.
saying that the
No,
difference
I agree.
is that
Upgrade.
I'm not saying, the expectation, it's like they did it, why don't you do it? And I think the
Well,
difference
they
is that
didn't
everybody's
just
doing it.
do a basic, but this is not a basic. They did more than just upgrade the resolution and the frames. They added a lot of content to the game. So
Well, yeah,
I
but
don't-
see what people focusing on are the features, which you can't buy individually. That $10
you can't- it's all
upcharge,
part of the
exactly.
director's cut. It's all
Yeah, I
part of the
know.
director's cut.
Exactly.
There's
So-
not multiple SKUs of the PS5 version. There's just one SKU, and it's the director's cut. It'd be different if there was a PS5 version and then
and $10, right?
but there's not. There's no PS5 version of this game other than the director's
Well, do you
cut.
remember about Wreckfest? Like, Wreckfest had that $10 upgrade, right? We got it for free in PlayStation Plus, but those guys were getting, THQ Nordic was getting destroyed online when they were given a $10 upgrade. Now, that's also on Xbox. They said a $10 upgrade for Wreckfest. Now, we got it for free a month early in PlayStation Plus, but I wasn't paying no $10 for Wreckfest. They added more multiplayer people, like 64 online, as opposed closer to 32, and they added DualSense support and all this other stuff. Well, playing the upgrade, I didn't think that thing was worth. That was the first thing I played. I was like, this is not no $10 upgrade. Like, this is not worth it. Dirt 5 did better DualSense support than Wreckfest did. And I was just like, this $10 upgrade, I'm glad I didn't pay for it because it was part of PlayStation Plus. But they're selling that for $10 to upgrade. And that's what I mean. Everybody's doing it differently right now. And I think exactly what you said, where they're testing the market. But the thing is Sony knows that these games are real. Like, these games have been well received. There's a lot of content. They gave the multiplayer. They've done the 60 frames, and now they're adding a new island. And if you want all the perks on the PlayStation 3, which I'm sure, the Japanese thing has been something. Like, it seems like they took a lot of the input that people wanted from the game and added it into this content. The Japanese lip sync, some of the other features. I think there's some other UI things and things like that. Or hiding his arrow, his bow and arrow, I think was another thing that people asked. So they basically, this is like the fan version. Like, they basically took all the feedback and upgraded the game in this director's cut. So I'm for it. I can't wait. And you're right. Like, just the whole stuff. I just want to see more of it. To see what the update. Similar to, like, remember when everybody went crazy with the Spider-Man. With the Spider-Man remastered, and everybody's like, what? Spider-Man Remastered, it's another $20. Like, and then until you see it in action running on the PS5, you're like, whoa. And they showed a side-by-side or something like that.
The thing is, it wasn't just a res. It was more, they went back and.
That one they really did. They added a lot of stuff to that one.
I mean, they added a whole new actor for Peter Parker.
They did.
So I think when you're doing that much work, it deserves to be purchased. Now, when you're just doing a resolution and frame rate bump, I mean. But obviously, there's more to this game than just that. So you can't expect devs to just continue to, offer their services for free, and publishers to continue to offer free upgrades. Because when they gave us, and you don't, guess what? If you don't want to play the PS5 version, you can pay the $20 and upgrade your PS4 games and still play at 1800p, 60 FPS.
Yep, exactly. So
there's nobody stopping you from doing that.
So that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. So if you have a problem with the $10 thing, they just don't want it to become a. But the thing is like, you need, first off, you can't compare this to what Game Pass is. And I see a lot of people from the Game Pass like, oh, we just get these updates rolled into Game Pass. You're paying a monthly subscription. Those are the perks of the subscription, because guess what? They're not packing you up with AAA games. Nonetheless, none of these games would even touch that kind of service. And these are perks of the service. It's like getting perks with your credit card. Like, these are the things that you get with your service if they decide to do these upgrades.
Nothing in Game Pass is free.
And that's what I mentioned on the Grinds My Gears, where I showed where some of those games leaving Game Pass actually got discounts on their Ultimate versions, and they're discounting them from $80 down to like $71. It's leaving Game Pass. Meanwhile, on the PlayStation, they're selling the game for $14. A more aggressive sale on PlayStation. But Xbox gets you into this ecosystem where you panic because a game is leaving the service, and what they do is they jack up the price on the back end, give you a 10% discount to make you think you're getting a deal, and now you're kind of like, oh shit, do I buy this game? You have the pressure on you. And that's and I'm going to keep an eye on that, because I think that's the trend. Like, nothing is free, and the thing is that that's why I question when everybody is like, Game Pass is the best thing in the world. They're giving away for $1. Yeah, you're gonna pay eventually. Something's gonna give. Like, nobody's putting
the game. Look at their first party games and the crazy level of microtransactions. And look at the microtransactions and the fact that you're not
Gears 5,
it
was ridiculous.
You're not even getting any first party games. I mean, so
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Get me a game like, and this is the thing I have to say, get a game like Ghost of Tsushima, like Last of Us 2, because I'm sure there's going to be a director's cut of Last of Us 2, which will cause another hoopla about it. But get a game like that first over on Xbox, and then see how Microsoft handles it. Because I see the same people going with the $70. Oh, Sony's charging $70, Microsoft is not. Let's wait until Microsoft has a full game like that and see how they handle that. That's the thing. So, like, don't, oh, wait, who's this? Kid Smooth, what do you mean I'm lying? I did a whole video on it showing the videos. Go watch the video. Dude is lying. I don't know who you're saying is lying. because I did a whole video on that on Grinds My Gears. So
Yeah, I saw it.
you saw it. I showed it. I did. Yeah, this wasn't no. This is not no insider knowledge. This is not no insiders. This is no
like
mankind of
all
Sakos.
these promotions off of the sale prices.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, like, people are upset about, Ghost. If you don't want it, don't buy it. It's not anti-consumer to charge for services. I mean, to charge for content, to charge for a game.
It's DLC. That I agree. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, that's just what it is.
Well, speaking about the services, so we have an audience right here. Hit that like button, everybody. And we got here. So speaking of hyping up the services, we have our PlayStation Now releases and Xbox Game Pass releases so far for this week. So we have here that I think they just announced the Xbox Game Pass releases. Let me see. For July is here they are. So the medium, and this is where, they kind of recycle the same games because they're on different platforms now. So the medium now is advertised here. So you look at, and I said this before, you look at 6 games right here, right? You're looking at 6 games, but if you're looking at console, it's really 4 games. Because medium is already there. Dragon Quest Builders is already there, but those are now in the cloud. And now UFC 4 is in the console, so that's through EA Play. So that's on every service with EA Play. So that's including on, if you subscribe to the dreadful EA Play on PlayStation as well, you get it there as well. Blood Roots everywhere. Tropico 6, Jesus, on everything. And Farming Simulator 19. So this is the July Game Pass release, and then we had the ones from last month. This is what's coming out. So we also have. So I don't know why they didn't talk about Flight Simulator. Flight Simulator is coming out on July 27th, and that's coming everywhere. And then the Ascent is coming out in July as well. That looks pretty damn good. So I'm gonna try it out.
Did they show what came to Xbox Live?
Who?
Asked that. Did they show what came to Xbox Gold? Live Gold?
Oh damn. Yeah. I showed that last week. It was like Conker Live and Reloaded without the online, and 3 other games. Yeah, Live and Reloaded without the online. OG Xbox game they put in there. Yeah, Games of Gold is, man, I told you. Knee deep in the goddamn Walmart bargain bin. You will never find any of those games they put in Games of Gold. So now this is your Game Pass. The thing that gets hyped up by everybody in the media and all this other stuff. This is, again, so, you get these games coming. Like if you're a console, you got UFC, Farming Simulator, Tropico, Blood Roots, but then you also have Flight Simulator, because everybody's going to be Tom Cruise by the end of this month. And we also have The Ascent, which that's a decent game on the last month. It looks pretty good. So now over on the PlayStation side, so this is your 2 services here. Again, like, I'm just, you got here, these are the games they're putting for July. They got in PlayStation Now, this is just in PlayStation Now, for $60 a year, not $180, $60. Neo 2, Judgment, God of War, Moving Out, which I think Moving Out was already on there. NASCAR Heat 5, Red Dead 2, which is back. It left, it went to Game Pass, it came back. And then Tokyo Games Tokyo. Neo 2, I'm like, damn, that just came out earlier this year. And Judgment, I think that just went to Game Pass. Is Judgment's not, is it in Game Pass or not?
The current gen one is in Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, I think it might be. I don't know what this one is. Let's see. Moving out, but that's in PlayStation Now, and then well, I thought I had the images. Where the hell are they? Hold on, I thought I had them here. And then, as we spoke about did I save them here? Where did I put them? I had them. Here we go. Oh yeah, here's the PlayStation Now thing. And that's crazy. That's a lot of games on PlayStation Now, too. That is insane for the 1 month. But again, it's not like you can go running. Oh, shit, what happened? It went down. Like, you go running around like, oh, my God. It's just like, wow, okay, cool. Like, that's what it is. It's it's basically, neat. Like, that's cool. it's not like I'm gonna make T-shirts and fleeces and go running around the streets with it. And then you got PlayStation Plus games for July: Plague's Tale: Innocence, the PS5 version with the upgrade, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So that's more Call of Duties in the services. So again, a service that gets not hyped up at all has majority of like Call of Duty World War II. Like it has almost all the Call of Duties in it between PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, and WWE Battlegrounds, which has been in PlayStation Now. Now they finally put that in PlayStation Plus as well. But these are some decent games that they put into the service over, over this thing. Like it's just, I just think like the services are great, but they don't, especially Game Pass, should not get the hype that it gets, because even the forward thinking and stuff, like this is decent, like, but you're looking from now until the end of the year. But if you're looking at just for like what's coming out lately, like dude, it's like,
you talking about gold?
Everything, like gold. I'm not even talking about gold. I'm talking about Game Pass. I'm not even talking about freaking gold. Gold is just that is garbage. I'm talking about Game Pass. Like I'm talking about this right here. Like this, you look at this list and you look at at this list and you're like, okay, here's July for this service, and then you look at here's July for this service. Like, let's put them side by side here. Like here's your July. Like I don't know. Like you think like which one? Here's your Julys. Yeah, and you could put Farming Simulator. You got Flight Simulator, and you got the Ascent. Okay, like this is your list for today. This came out in the last 2 days. So here's your hype for Game Pass, and you look at this one. Which one do you think you're paying $180 for? Looking at these two lists.
PS Now.
Yeah, look at it. You get Neo 2, Judgment, God of War, Moving Out, NASCAR Heat 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Olympic Games Tokyo. Plus it has 800 games, 400 streaming, 400 something downloadable. You got 200 plus games, about 300 games, and you're looking at this stuff. The difference is I guess you could play these games in more places. But, you look at where the hype is, and it's like, it's just artificial hype that's created for this. Like, if they didn't have EA Play rolled into this thing, UFC 4 wouldn't even be in there. Really, it's unwarranted. I think Game Pass is what it is, but I just think that the hype for it is like, and then telling me that it's the future. You get on board. You know what? They better get some goddamn games in there.
But I don't want a future where a company decides which games I actually play. So,
but you can
I'm
buy
not
them.
interested in that.
You can buy them. Let me
But
see.
what I'm saying, if I rely on the service, I'm only playing what's in there.
Yeah. Let me see.
I'm not just now.
Let me see here if I could get to this thing. See, I don't like doing that. I just want to see. I just want to look up Game Pass. I want to see because I thought I checked it before. What's leaving the film? What's leaving? Where is it? And then
I think all Xbox has is Game Pass, and that's why they have to keep
that's
pushing
probably
it.
why.
They push their stuff into a corner where that's all they have, so they have no choice but to continuously market it. So even if it does, even if it does start to fail, they're gonna stick with it. Number one, because they have the money to. But number two, that's their marketing now. It's all Game Pass. It's not even about the Xbox Series X, the Series S, and the consoles. It's all about that service. And I think your service is only as good as the games get in there. I listen to Jaffe every once in a blue moon. I don't agree with him a lot about all this stuff. And I definitely don't agree with him. I don't know. He's on this big kick with Game Pass. I don't know where Sony touched him and hurt him. But he's on this big kick with Game Pass. And I kind of feel like, he's wrong in a lot of senses.
Well, he's on the mobile stuff. He has his own battles, dude.
It's not feeling he's wrong is because I just don't.
I don't agree,
dude.
I don't agree.
Wildin'.
I don't agree with him. I don't see the future where the streaming and the cloud grow very rapidly. I think it does grow, but I think it's going to take time, and he sees it now as being the big thing. And Game Pass being, I think the more services you get, the worse the market is going to be, because I don't think people are trying to compare this Game Pass to Netflix and And Amazon Prime, you can't really compare it to that.
You know why you can't compare? You know why you can't compare Netflix and one reason, well, obviously one's video streaming, one's gaming. Netflix does continue to support their service with not only third-party content, but they make original. They have a lot of original content constantly going in their service, and Microsoft is not doing that right now. So their service, to me, Netflix is a much more valuable service than Game Pass. So
Yeah, I agree, but they all lose a lot of money. Netflix loses a lot of money.
no, I'm not talking about the business aspect. I'm just talking about what it offers consumers. And right now, Microsoft's value proposition for Game Pass is only going to be bolstered by the first party content that's in the service. And right now, the first party content is lacking. I mean, they haven't even released a next generation game yet.
Right.
From their first party. So, their whole selling point was that all their first party was going to be in their day and date, but then they stopped putting out games. So,
yeah, I think that their thing now is they're relying on the Bethesda company and all their games, and they have the future coming out that's going to, really compel Game Pass. And people are like, oh, well, Game Pass pretty soon, you'll be able to get a big AAA game every 2 or 3 months. And
they're eventually going to get there, I guess,
happen,
right?
That's great, but if it can happen, that's great. But the reality is, by the time they get there, they still have to catch the competition.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they do. I know some of these games are in there, and that's the other thing too, is that Sony seems to be sharing some of these games that are in Game Pass, which could be taking some of the. Some I know Red Dead and then things like that, but we'll keep an eye on the games leaving the Game Pass. So we'll see how that works with some of that stuff. I just looked at the UFC games are leaving because I guess they're giving UFC 4 in there. They have UFC 2 and 3 in there. Oh, that EA play, man. Oh, EA, another service that was decent, and then they stopped making games. Want EA play, and they're just like now it's just basically a sports pass, basically, the EA play. Like, it is just like that started pretty well because EA was doing some stuff. And Smooth says that the Plague's Tale Innocence, and again, I don't know what the Phillness and stuff, but it says Xbox One Enhanced. So I guess that's the same version that they have on the PS5, right? I'm assuming it's the same one that's in there. So
what do you mean?
I don't know. The one that they just gave away on PS Plus, the Plague's Tale. I guess
it's a PS5 version of the game.
They did, yeah. And I know that there's a Series X enhanced version in Game Pass of Plague's Tale. Yeah, I think that's how I played it. Exactly. I played it on PC that way. But again, you don't need a monthly subscription. Well, you got your PlayStation Plus for $60. And that's the other thing, too. It's like, if you want to start getting these games out of both the services and stuff like that, and one service is costing you $60 and the other one's $180.
People need to stop putting Flight Sim in these list of games because no one's playing that shit.
Flight Sim. No, they're all going to be Tom Cruise, man. Everybody be flying Tom Cruise at the end of this month.
Somebody wants to sit there and fly through the clouds for 4 hours. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody's playing that crap.
Go play Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't see anybody streaming Flight Sim. It's just a bullet in the chamber. Nice. It shouldn't even be mentioned. Game is trash.
Dude, Flight Sim, you get that Tom Cruise DLC. You'd be I'm ready for Tom Cruise. Get ready to be Tom Cruise in a little bit, man. I can't wait to see all the streaming of it. I want to see the entertainment.
All these people that's putting Flight Sim in their list, they better play it.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it. I want to see these streams. I want to see somebody fly from Philadelphia to Australia and entertain their audience and do that. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait, man. It's gonna everybody be Tom Cruise. All you gonna see is a couple of pictures on Twitter, and then I want to see you streaming it. We'll see, man. We'll see.
I'm not even crapping on the game because it's 30 FPS. I just want to see somebody play the game.
Yeah, man.
Hey, gentlemen. I'm going to dip out because I got some lightning and
damn.
Here.
Stay safe.
Got this big ass storm coming, so I'm going to dip out to make sure everything in the house is battened down and I'm good to go. We got,
All
we got
right,
some
man.
sandbags, but I don't
Oh
think we're gonna
shit! You better
flourish.
stay safe out
Be
there,
okay.
frogs.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I will see you guys next week. Y'all can follow me at Frogs Dreams, and catch me on my streams when I do them. But yeah, let me dip out and make sure my house is and around my house is my neighbor, because my neighbors, I see him outside. Everybody got to make. I don't think we're gonna have a major hurricane, but it's gonna be a lot of rain.
Dude,
So
well, stay
let me
safe,
just make sure
man.
we're.
Stay safe
I
over there.
appreciate it. Y'all guys have a good one.
All right,
Peace.
man. Talk to you later. So the next thing is the Sony State of Play. So that was announced today, and they're going to do a deep dive. They said into Deathloop, and they're going to cover some indie games, probably Kena, and do some more indie games. So what do you think about this deep dive into Deathloop?
I mean, I am interested in Deathloop, but honestly, it to be the showpiece for a State of Play, I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
To say, yeah, I'm a little disappointed, and I guess they're saying we're not going to get updates on Horizon, God of War, or
no.
I think there's something else. So I mean, okay, I mean, Deathloop is an interesting game, but it's they usually use this spotlight for their first party for the most part.
Yeah.
So, I was hoping to get some more updates on their first party games, but I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
Well, this I'm seeing the way they're doing. It seems like the methods that they're doing is doing these deep dives on their games as they're coming out. So like a month or so before, who knows? Well, Horizon, I was still surprised they didn't give a goddamn release date to Horizon. But like, I don't understand. Like, they did that deep dive and no release date for it. But now with Deathloop, they're gonna do a deep dive of this one. It seems like this is what they're doing. They did it with Returnal, and they're just kind of doing this before the games come out to kind of do a deep dive and do the State of Play for it. I think everybody was anticipating this to be their kind of E3 response, and now it's just kind of a Deathloop. I'm interested in Deathloop. I think it's like a cool concept. I know Frogs, he's not a fan right now of Arcane. But, I'm interested in seeing what Deathloop is. I like the mechanic of somebody trying to go through the map and then somebody trying to hunt them down. I want to see how that works. That's, it does look like something like a Dishonored. It has a cool look to it, but I want to see how that works. Like if it is a laggy, janky mess and, it doesn't really like work out as cool as it makes it seem, then I'll be it won't be that great. I think they already did a deep dive last year on Deathloop, if I'm not mistaken. I thought they did cover it in one of their showcases. They did do a lengthy kind of demo. I think it was the September State of Play where they announced God of War at the end of it. They showed some lengthy things about how the mechanics work. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm interested to see how they show this game and how they kind of make it differently. But I'm interested in it. I want to see how this works with the co-op and this kind of anti-co-op with somebody trying to go through and then somebody trying to kill them. I think that's an interesting take. But again, it does have some of those effects as Returnal, where like you're kind of going through the map again, like do your missions. So Returnal did it right, where you weren't bored, kept going back and forth and stuff. Like it was a different experience each time through. Let's see how they do it. What's their spin on that? So that's where I'm interested to see how this is going to hold the attention. It is on sale, I think, with PlayStation Plus discounts, like $52 on it. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what they said. Doc Prince says that they had a new trailer last State of Play. Yeah. We don't need another deep dive on Deathloop, and Patient says. Yeah, hit that like button. That's right. Todd Howard says it just works. Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, we're going to see. I was a little disappointed that's the game they're focusing on. I want to see some more Horizon. I wanted to see some more stuff, but you gotta, and this is the take, and it kind of goes into the Sony, the studios discussion thing, and what we were speaking about earlier with the two different approaches, is that it seems like Sony is definitely chipping away at current games coming out right now, and not really talking about the games coming late next year or
Right.
really focusing on those games. They're talking about kind of this, and they kind of did that last year with their state of play, and when they revealed the yeah, it's weird. It's been on sale since launch, Josh. The Deathloop. But what's interesting is that Sony seems to be just kind of showing just a glimpse of the next 7 to 8 months, next year or so, and kind of what it is, and kind of focusing on what's coming in the next couple of months. Whereas we spoke about earlier, well, Microsoft just opened up the floodgates to show you everything coming in the next probably decade, the next 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, but I think the reason why Microsoft did that is because they know they don't have anything coming up anytime soon.
Yeah.
So they can really only focus down the road. PlayStation has some games that are coming, like Kenna and Deathloop, some of these second party deals.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, they want to give these
they have
spotlight. I get it. I mean, I'm not upset at them. I'm a little disappointed that we aren't getting more information about some of their first party, but this does look like a really good game, so I'm interested in it. But I really don't want to see more. Actually, I've seen enough.
I've seen it. I just want to see more of that multiplayer.
I want to play the game. Like I don't want to spoil myself too much by watching too much.
You're right, and that's another thing too. Like I don't want too many deep dives where I'm already like, yeah, I'm good, and I get kind of disinterested in the game because they showed me too much. Show me enough to get me intrigued, and then kind of back off. Like I didn't even follow half of the stuff for Ratchet because I knew when I saw that I wanted that game, so I was not watching a lot of those, like any kind of videos or anything like that on there. But the thing is really, we'll see what they do with it. I don't think there'll be some updates on some other games too, so it's not just going to be like how Horizon was, where it's just the one game and then thank you, goodbye. There are going to be some games there. So we'll see. It's Thursday. Maybe I'll do a live reaction, or maybe I'm probably not going to do a live reaction. Maybe I'll do like a thing after, just seeing what it is, if there's anything of note. If not, we'll just add it to the Grindsboard for next week to see and just have it as a discussion point. But I don't think anything amazing is going to come out of it. We'll see some of Deathloop and see if if it's going to be worth it or not. So yeah, and that's the other thing. People want to see who's that? That's Akeem, sorry. He says, going to hold back Final Fantasy 16 for Spoken Showcase for 2022. I know, that's the thing. Sony did show some future stuff, for Spoken, Final Fantasy 16, Gran Turismo, even God of War, and really, somebody's I'd rather have a Kenna state of play. And I've seen enough of Kenna too. That's right. I've seen enough of those games. I don't need to see any more of that. But you're right. Deathloop is, Chrono Trigger says Deathloop is next on the release calendar, and that's why they're putting the spotlight on it. And that's kind of the approach that they're doing. They did it with Ratchet. They did it with Returnal. It seems to be effective. It gets people hyped up. And you got to remember, too, not everybody, again, I'm not, the grinders know. The grinders, everybody's in the know here. But you got to remember, there's not, some people don't even know some of these games are coming out, and this is a way, hey, you just got your PlayStation, here's some video clips of this state of play, and they put it on the dashboard, and now you're interested in these games that are coming out. Stray is another one. Some of the indie games, too, that they'll have to update. And I bet you we'll get some release dates on some of these indie games, because we don't have any on Stray. Little Stranger Within, or what the hell, that little Devil Inside. Some of those cool indies that they showed last year. So we'll see where they go with this stuff. But I don't think there'll be anything ground shaking in this. It's and unfortunately, I think people were more anticipating. Again, insiders, God, stop it, insiders, just stop. Saying, Sony's going to respond with this, but it's not exactly what people wanted. People wanted what Sony did last year, and kind of, here's our E3. And you got to remember, Sony doesn't do that, So, they don't, this is what we get, it's, I think it's effective. It may not be what we want. Oh, yeah, Sifu release date. Sifu, I saw enough of that, too. I want that game as well. So, yeah, that game looks pretty damn cool, Sifu. But we will see. Probably we'll see how it is, if there's anything noteworthy of that. Next topic, this kind of was poured into the other one, was the Game Pass saving money. But I saw somebody bring this up, is that if it's creating this, if the Game Pass is creating this non-buying mentality with that.
Right.
And,
I mean, it's true.
And I said this before, like when we were doing the E3 stuff, I was like saying, like, the thing is that if they just announce a game, people are going to be like, is it in Game Pass? Is it going to Game Pass? And if it's not in Game Pass, then it's like it has to be announced new and in Game Pass to be a win, for some people.
If it's not, then I see a lot of people waiting.
Yeah.
Until it comes to Game Pass. And I've been saying this, you are going to see a huge gap between the PS5 sales of third-party games and how they're selling on Xbox. And this trend is going to continue. And it's because, it's because there's always this mystery of if a game is going to come to Game Pass. So people are just going to decide not to buy games.
Yeah, and you want to know what's interesting? And the reason why I saw some people speaking about this today, let me see if I can find it.
Wasn't there an article on resale?
It was about, that's where I got it. There was, they were speaking about it, and I would not even tout about this game. You tell me about this Game Pass thing. The Dungeons and Dragons basically sold like this game is bad. Like this game is bad,
yeah.
But it sold like, and I don't know if it's something to be happy about, but it sold like I think it was about 80% or 70% on PlayStations and racking in like 20% on an Xbox. And this game was day one in Game Pass. So people were saying like, this ratio, and again, it's not just with Dungeons and Dragons, but even third-party games, like this ratio of games being purchased on PlayStation,
way off.
It's super off. It's not 50-50. It is not even like 75-25. Like it is definitely closer to like it's more closer to 75-25. Like it's getting around that way, and it's just insane that is this creating a mentality, or are these games? And is the market that large? You know what I mean? 96% Game Night says. I knew it was something crazy. Let me look at it. I gotta get the article. I was trying to find it. Sorry I didn't have it. But yeah, 96%. Where is this thing? I want to find it. But like, I can understand, because as a Game Pass subscriber, you are definitely torn with this day one, where they said 96%, where this how you're going to buy your games, right? And by this day and date stuff, it does kind of make you question, and also what they've been doing in their past with with like games that are coming to Game Pass, that people cancel their pre-orders and things like that. So it is being disruptive in the sense of this thing.
In the way people acquire games on that platform, yes.
Yes, and I think it's just going to get it's just going to increase.
Continue to change. It's going to get increased because people are going to expect these games that debut to release in that service, especially if Microsoft has a marketing deal. And if they don't release in the service, then they're going to wait and hope that it comes to the service instead of just purchasing the game.
Exactly. And also, too, it only takes, like, one screw job, too. Like, I bought the game, and then it shows up in the service. You're like, son of a bitch, I'm not buying a game again. It only takes one of those.
You don't own those games, and that's what people don't understand.
They leave.
You're still renting those games. I mean, nothing wrong. I'm not shaming anybody for renting a game, but you do have to realize that, especially when you're talking about third-party titles, those titles
sucks. Don't buy it.
They don't stay in there. They don't stay in Game Pass. They don't even tell you when those games are going out of Game Pass. Or like when they put a game in there, they don't tell you when it's going to be leaving.
Well, that's the one thing that's different between the two services, where PlayStation Now will tell you when it's leaving, like when it comes in there. It says this is there until like September, and the other ones, the Xbox doesn't do it. It does that whole it's leaving Game Pass 2 weeks, goodbye. You know what I mean? It's going in Game Pass 2 weeks. It's in the section to leave, and And now you got to wonder if you're going to buy it or not. But yeah, no, Dungeons and Dragons, do not buy. That's why I'm saying, like, to celebrate this, I would not celebrate this thing. It's just, here it is. Here's it's just a split in the ratios that
who's
yeah.
picking what games are debuting in this service?
I don't know who's picking it. What did you say? Who's picking what's debuting in the service?
Yeah, who's picking out these games like Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't. That's that's been my biggest problem with the curation of games. Like, and that's why I was saying, like, games like even Hood was a good game that I thought would have been perfect for Game Pass. It was $40, and it was an online only game with Assassin's Creed type style stuff, and that would have been in there. Chivalry 2, I've been playing tons of that. That would have been a good get for Game Pass. Like, even Mass Effect with their partnerships with EA, like the Mass Effect collection, like those games just went goodbye and didn't even see the light of day on Game Pass on day and date. Like, especially after the April that they had, I thought that they would follow up with those kind of games going in there, going like, okay, now the ball's rolling, now the ball's going. But as I showed earlier, the content coming to Game Pass really is not, that's the thing. I know. I think a lot of people tried it because I've seen a lot of people play this Dark Alliance and drop it real quick. So I feel bad for all these 96 people that purchased it on consoles. But again, I think this is a bad game to use, but it's something that's noteworthy of the ratio of purchasing. And it's not just Dungeons and Dragons. That's the thing. It's not this Dungeons and Dragons stuff. This is just another instance of it. But there are games that the ratio of purchasing on the PlayStation, is it that install base that big difference?
No, it's not. It's not. But the thing is, in I don't know, if you can't see this, you're just blind. Xbox gamers are being conditioned to not purchase games and to rely on Game Pass as their sole way of consuming content. And if the game is not in that service, then they just don't play it. They don't. Yeah. They don't buy it. You're
gonna. I think it's funny because I think some people say like Game Pass has you, and it's like you are in that bubble that what is fed to you in Game Pass. And that's kind of what you're going to do. But, see, that's for me, I look at what's in Game Pass, and I have a Game Pass subscription right now. I cashed in one of my ones, and I'm going to play that game at the end of this month. But, like, for me to find out when I wanted to use my Game Pass, it's been hit or miss because I showed you what they've been putting in there over the last couple of months hasn't been super great. April was a banger of a month. But after that, like, it hasn't been that great. And even what they got coming... I'm going to buy Halo, but I'm going to probably play, I don't know about the single player. I'm going to play definitely the multiplayer. That's free to play. But, Forza, maybe try that out, play that out in Game Pass. But again, and I said this last week too, they say trying out a game and stuff. Like, what is the quality of the engagement that they're looking for? Like, are they just looking for clicking, like click-through rate? Or they're looking for, like, quality time with games. Because I really don't want to waste my time searching for games and trying out games that, like, you're just being that ignorant not to know what's going on to just try out games and just click on them and be like, and I saw it was funny because I was speaking of Jaffe. I watched his stream with Salty, and they were playing this Dungeons and Dragons because he had to test out Game Pass, and they were, like, playing it. Like, first of all, it took, like, 30 minutes to get him in a room, and then after that, they paid 15 minutes. They're like, yo, this is trash. And then they just went through with a party of 4 people going through all of Game Pass games going, well, what do you want to play? What do you want to play? Dungeons and Dragons night was horrible. What do you want to play? And basically, it turned into they played friggin' that cooking game, and it's like, what? That was your night of gaming? Like that's I got 4 hours. That's what I did. Try to find something to play in this massive free games or like service games.
I mean, it's whoever's curating and handing out whatever contracts or deals to some of this stuff to debut in there. A game at this point, sometimes it seems like, okay, we just need content. It doesn't matter the quality of the content. We just need to be able to say we're adding things to this service.
Yeah.
And that's just
Well,
the way it looks
that
to me.
seems like the rate that they're going is just putting stuff in there, and it's really the curated content. That's why I showed the side by side of look at the stuff, even though they're older games, but look at what's going in the Sony services, which are far more less costly than the Game Pass service, because the main drive for Game Pass is the day one games in the service, and specifically Microsoft day one games. Well, the last day one game in the service was Minecraft Dungeons. You know, because if you want to count Gears Tactics, which that wasn't day and date, because that came out in April of last year on PC, and Flight Simulator, the next game is going to be Psychonauts 2, day and date, day one games. If you want to call Flight Simulator and Gears Tactics, call them up too, I guess, if you want to. But Microsoft first-party contribution to Game Pass has been garbage. It's been bad.
Yeah.
Over the last year, it's been bad. So, like, if that's the main driver of why I should pay $180 for that service versus the $60 for PlayStation Now, I don't think it's worth $180 a year. I like the peekaboo gaming. I jump on, I play a little bit, and I jump off. I'm not staying, and you know what? That's the thing. I love it because it doesn't get me fully committed into the service. I could do peekaboo gaming. I could take exactly what I want from them with a cheap ass $10, $15 and move on. But you want to know what? You stay in that lane though. Don't tell me that that is how gaming should be, because I don't want that kind of quality spilling over to anybody else.
Gaming. What do you mean, Jed?
No, it's not. And that's where I draw the line. Stop with that shit. It's the future for Xbox because that's the ship they want to sell. But don't tell me that that is how everything needs to be and that we should get rid of this whole kind of like
early access games.
Oh.
Bare bones games that that finally reach full potential 2 years later.
Fuck that. Get the hell out of here with that shit.
That is not the future.
And that, you know what? That's exactly what they're going to goddamn do with Halo. I guarantee you. That Halo Craig edition, man, they're going to be a Craig.
Most players are going to be trash.
We're sorry about the
deal.
It's not going to be trash. It's going to, I don't know.
No. It's going to be a skeleton. It's going to be a skeleton.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Halo is going to be coming in hot. I'm telling you, it's going to come in hot, and they're going to be like, well, this is they're going to roll out that game and whatever it releases, and they're going to come out with some friggin' roadmap and be like, well, this is our plan in the next 6 months. And you're going to be like, really? I waited over a year for this game, and now you're going to relaunch this game in whenever, and then you're going to release it with a goddamn roadmap. And they're going to say, here's the roadmap. This is what we're doing with Halo in the next 6 months. And people are just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the unfortunate thing, and that's my fear, because now you're messing with my main game. You know, that's my baby is Halo, and you disappointed me last year, and I don't want, and I understand they have a 10-year vision for Halo, but I just don't want.
So
that's a victim of Game Pass to me. Like that's the other horror with Game Pass that will do that to that game.
Yeah, it's
Craig missing his body.
It's definitely having it's definitely having an effect on when they put a game in there, the state the game goes into the Game Pass. But you know, I mean, like I said, they say it's the future of gaming, and that Sony's going to do the same thing. And honestly, you know, I don't want Sony to focus solely on a service. Their primary way of providing content. It can be what they're doing with PS Now is good.
That's perfect. Just stay there.
It's another option for people who want a service, but it is not the focus of their. It is not their focus.
No, and it shouldn't be, because I always mention on this channel is doing the waterfall approach. You don't have to compromise your games for a service or for a massive 2 billion gamers. You basically. You build your game targeting the console gamer, the premium customer, and then you drop it on sale here, Returnal. Things like $50. What about $70? Too much. Well, you don't think it's $70? Worth $70? Not worth $70. Now it's $50. You don't think it's $50? Okay, wait, it's $40. You don't think it's $40? This $30. Oh, it's on sale this holiday for $25 to $30. Greatest Hits Edition, $20. Boom. Now we're gonna put it in PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus, in early next year, whatever like that. The game was not adjusted to be a mass appeal or mass audience game. That's my problem with Microsoft committing everything everywhere on day one. You got to put everything on PC, you got to put everything on the consoles, and that game, everything has to be in the cloud, and everything has to be compromised for a different consumer on a different device on day one. I'm sure it's drawing there. Studio's very thin. I wonder what Halo would be if they just had to worry about the Xbox edition and not have to worry about widescreen support and field of view sliders and
3080s
and 3080s and 4080s when they come out. I wonder if that group was focused, exactly. I wonder if that group was focused on just developing one for the Xbox. Maybe 343 could get it together and do it. Because guess what, everybody?
Look at how many devices this game has to be on.
It has to be on everything.
From the Xbox to One. I mean, it's so many devices, not including PC configurations. All the Xbox consoles. This is a monumental task this team is taking on.
It's huge. And know what's incredible?
And all these games are got to play together.
Yeah, and know what else? Yeah, and cross-play on top. So you don't. Oh my god! And know what else too? They did it before. 343 did this before with Halo 5 and Halo 4. They focused on a console version, and it came out and did what it did.
Yeah.
Never before have I seen Halo look the way it did last year.
With no textures.
Oh my god, they would never in their life Minecraft before that show Halo looking like that.
The world looked so static. It looked so plain. Unalive.
It looked horrible. The animations, the AI wasn't there. I played Halo Reach.
The AI.
Dude, they were dodging my freaking grenades.
Hasn't Halo always been known for its AI?
Yes.
Listen. I was playing. I didn't beat Halo 5. So
Ivan, the times are changing, but it's changing for the worst, and you need to acknowledge that because the quality and what we used to play in those Xbox Live parties has changed, and that's why I'm grinds my gears because I don't like what Microsoft has become from what we used to know. And that's the problem. And the fact is that you, of all people who went through this, should see the degradation of what they have been doing. Mm-hmm. So if you're a true Xbox fan and played these games and played this stuff, you should see Halo's not looking the Halo that we used to be. That is not a new direction. That is not changing. That is poor quality, and who the hell chose to show that goddamn game? That's the thing. If you are a real fan, you would see the degradation of Xbox right before your eyes. I don't give a shit about the road that they're going, because guess what? 2 billion gamers doesn't help me. Because they want a little Johnny to play on his phone while he's taking a shit at McDonald's. That doesn't help me, because he can make sure he can play on the cloud.
What about your hardcore
Waste of time.
What about the fan base that's been with you since day
one? Exactly. They abandoned us 3-4 years ago. Abandoned.
The type of title. And you got Phil Spitzer talking about we need more E-rated games. Okay, listen. What else are you putting out? I don't understand why he would even say
He just talks out his ass, dude. That's it. He panders to the audience. Panders to the crowd. Now, more options for more people. More options at the result of us losing quality. That's the thing. Because guess what? The original Halo was on PC. They made Gearbox make it back in the day.
Yeah.
I didn't care. Guess what? Gears of War, well, it was on PC. I don't care. It didn't matter to me. Those are more options, but guess what? Those options came later, after they made sure that game was optimized and worked perfectly for their core audience. Then they made the PC port. And that's what Sony's doing. Sony's like, you know what? We're going to make this the best PlayStation 5 game ever. They do it, and then they go, okay, PC dudes, now we're going to focus our things. Now maybe that's where we're going to get into the studio purchases. But Nexus, or whatever you guys are, you do PC ports. Go make Horizon work on PC and make sure it has widescreen support, field of view sliders, texture updates, tessellations, whatever the hell it has. But guess what? That didn't compromise the development of the game to be the best console game it should be. And as a console user, therefore, I want to make sure that they are focused on giving me the best experience. Selfish gaming, as Persona says.
They've already said Halo is their, as far as Halo,
2 billion people.
PC is
at the cost of quality to me.
Well, PC is going to be the best place to play it.
Yeah.
And their focus is on,
Dude,
not saying they're not focusing on the console.
They showed friggin' widescreen support. They didn't show any more gameplay of single player, but they did. They have the balls to talk about widescreen support.
We have not. Have we seen this game running on the
No, on the X.
Xbox here?
No, we have not. And that's the problem that I have. Like, you are hiding Halo. They're hiding it. You had a horrible showing. It gets delayed a year. And then you come out and show some multiplayer. Yeah, the multiplayer looks pretty solid. I don't know to the extent of that multiplayer. We didn't get a deep dive into it. You know, they typically show it at the game show, at the show, and then maybe 2 or 3 days later, they'll basically do a deep dive in it, or maybe give us a beta. Nothing. You saw your 2 minutes of Halo multiplayer, and you're done. We're done.
You know why? If you really think about it, it doesn't matter. Even Phil,
it's free to play. It doesn't. Really, you're right. It doesn't matter. It's free to play.
It doesn't matter.
I guess
because
it don't matter.
5 people play it or 5 million people play it. It's gonna be on Game Pass. And
the single player is gonna be on Game Pass, which that they have yet to show again.
Well, what I'm saying
multiplayer is free to play.
The game is free to. The multiplayer is free to play. But either way, the barrier to entry is not going to be very high to this game. So I don't really think they're too much concerned about the quality of this game because there's no
obviously
way
if they showed it,
Sony,
right?
There's no way that Sony would allow a flagship title there, like Uncharted, to be shown off like that. It wouldn't happen, And so it just wouldn't. You wouldn't have Nathan Drake out there fighting Minecraft looking characters or the back.
Dude,
I mean,
the AI, it was horrible. They needed to respond to last year's showcase and not hide it, and instead they hid it.
They will continue to hide this game right up until launch. You will.
You think, right?
You will not see any more of this campaign. You'll see some. They may show it off again, show off a cutscene or something like that, or show off a little snippet. But you won't see anything like they showed off the last time because they're too afraid of the backlash.
Well, that's not good. And they said that there's some beta coming. It might be a beta, but Jesus, like I tell you, we are now in July, and Craig still exists. Craig should be erased from our memory. He should have the hair like the goddamn Bee Gees, his chest hair, his chains. I talked to Tony. Tony's still working, drawing the goddamn hairs on friggin' Craig's face. He said he'll be ready, but there's no release date. So, Tony, I hope he's still employed there because he's been drawing the face, the nose, and the mustaches, all the nose hairs on Craig because Craig was smooth as a baby's ass. And they said, we need hair on Craig. That's why it's delayed. So, Craig still exists. Mm-hmm. And actually, Phil even said last year it's their mascot.
When they zoomed in on that.
Oh, Jesus.
On that. What are brutes? What are they called? I can't even freaking remember the name.
What, the brute?
Are they brutes?
The brute.
Yeah, when they zoomed in on that character model, I swear to you, looked like I don't even know if that was Xbox 360 level of textures and the facial animation. Like it didn't even look current. It didn't even look like an Xbox One game. Mm-hmm. It looked bad, and so,
I just don't understand. This whole telling me that Sony is doing day and date to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation. The thing is that if you are an Xbox fan, why does what that? The thing is Xbox still doesn't do better if Sony puts its great games on PC. That's the so how does that benefit Xbox? Now everybody gets to play all these incredible games that Sony's making on PC. Xbox then looks like Sea of Thieves looks like the shit that it should have been 3 years ago. When you have The Last of Us sitting next to it, so it doesn't benefit. It doesn't benefit Xbox at all if Sony does day-and-date PC. It's a game over for that as well because Sony has the IP. That's why cheering that is not going to make Xbox do better. Xbox is going to do better because they need to do better, not because somebody else puts shit on PC. And I'm going to tell you right now, Sony needs the console to survive. So they will not sabotage the console like Xbox did. They will not sabotage the console like Xbox did in order to make mobile gamers happy, to make PC gamers happy. Sony's not going to do that because they will go under, because they know that the console keeps their lights on. And because of that, they give the console the best experience. So, and if they do day and date, and their quality drops, then gaming fucking sucks, because Sony's the only one putting out quality goddamn games, and everybody else is putting off jerk-off material. It's bullshit. Who wants service games all the time? There's a place for service games, but not every goddamn game needs to be a service. Not every game needs to be in a subscription. Not every game needs to be everywhere. That's my point. Games do not do it. Not every fucking game needs to be everywhere. That's the thing.
Okay, so if you listen to what Sony's strategy is, it's still PlayStation first.
And it still stays like that. I'm a fan of it. If they don't, then fuck them too.
They're not going to sacrifice the PlayStation gamers' experience to satisfy the PC players.
No.
It's not going to happen. And also, when you look at, I've been saying this, the method in which you deliver these games, the business model in which you have to deliver these games is going to affect the games. And so when you are putting games in this relatively inexpensive service right now, you are also got to monetize games in a way of putting crazy microtransactions, piecing out content over time to keep people subscribed. You're going to do schemes like that because your business model requires somebody to stay subscribed to your service. So you have to do things that keep people subscribed. And also you have to make money by monetizing the games with microtransactions and loot boxes and things like that. So the business model is going to directly impact game development and the type of games you get in that service. And that's just what it is. We're already seeing it. Anybody who's saying that's not true is lying.
Yeah.
So,
and just one more comment, too. It's like the whole, it will happen. Well, I'll tell you also what will happen. You just wait, too. Xbox Game Pass will be on the Switch and on PlayStation by the end of this generation. So if you want to talk about day-and-date games, Xbox Game Pass will be on PlayStation as well, because that's their future. There's no other way. Like, they are already putting it on dongles. They're already putting it on TVs. It's just a matter of time. But the problem is that Xbox doesn't have the unique content in order to market Game Pass to other devices. They are using third-party content right now and trying to get bargain deals to put their stuff everywhere. But wait till when these exclusives come out from all these studios and all these Bethesda games and all this other stuff, don't worry about it, because by those time of those games, 2025, Game Pass will be probably an option for at least the Switch. I guarantee that. Like, it probably will be, because that's their next play. Where else can it go? It is already on PCs. It's already on Android. It's already on iPhone. It's already on dongles. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be on Samsung TVs, probably other TVs. Where else does, and that's already now. What does Game Pass look in 5 years from now? Like, what does that look like?
I would have never thought that Halo, one of the granddaddies of first-person shooters, would be chasing the success of a game like Fortnite.
Well, it's just.
I mean, you turn your flagship title multiplayer, into a free-to-play service game, and I'm just not a fan of that. I'm not saying the multiplayer won't be good, but most free-to-play games just do not.
Dude, I want to know what modes it's going to ship with and like what it's going to play like. Like, I'm assuming they're going to do big team battle. I'm assuming they're going to do something along those lines, like with the vehicles and stuff. Like, it doesn't look like they're focusing on arena stuff either.
Will crossplay be mandatory? Because I am not interested in playing with PC.
The problem what they've been doing is that they've been so Gears 5 did an update and they forced crossplay because it was hard to find games for the I think for the PC dudes, because because I would love to know what the ratio breakdown is of PC to console for Gears 5, because again, was it worth it? Was it worth it to put it on PC? Did that extra audience help you? Because I know people that play on PC and they drop Gears 5. Like, Gears 5 price still has more life on console than it does on PC. But was it worth it? And obviously, a lot of the console guys turned off their crossplay because there was complaints that they could not find games fast enough. So now they forced it with Gears update to do crossplay. And I think it was an Operation. What was it? Operation 5, and they did the same thing in They did the Operation 7.
So, are you talking about Gears?
Gears 7, yeah. Gears Operation 7. So here it is. I have it here.
So go ahead.
So what they said, this was in May. So what they said is that 2 new characters, new maps, slew of balancing, and forced crossplay across console and PC. Forced crossplay. So the option's gone. Remember they advertised, you could turn it off if you want. You could turn it off if you want. Well, now in this update, they're forcing it. And where did they say they said because here it is. Coalition writes that 40% of players disable this is hilarious. So the Coalition writes that 40% of players disable the cross-play matchmaking option, which is significantly impacting the matchmaking times for our players on both PC and console. It's for that reason the Coalition is disabling the ability to opt out of crossplay, stating that new features included in Operation 7, such as the inclusion of the field of view options across all platforms to make the 2 versions almost identical, because that's another caveat, was that the PC had field of view, console did not, so the PC guys had an advantage over the consoles because they could see more of the field or see more around the player, so they could see somebody sneaking up on them for a thing. So now they finally decided to make that balanced. Probably because they needed to, because now they're forcing crossplay. So you see, but what's hilarious is that 40% of the players disable it. They don't want to play it. So 40% of your install base does not want to crossplay. So you're telling those 40% to go suck a dick, and you basically
it's not PC play.
I guarantee it's not PC play. There's no way. PC players want to own the console dudes. This is a problem. This is your future. This is a problem.
Call of Duty Warzone, I know in the Xbox version, unless something changed, you couldn't turn crossplay off. On the PlayStation, you could. And so I wonder why it was that way.
Well, the problem was, it says right there, significantly impacting the matchmaking for times for our players on both console and PC, which, you know what? The thing is that
means you don't have enough people playing your damn game.
Exactly. But guess what? Gears is everywhere. It is on iPhones. Everybody that has an Android phone, iPhones, in the browser. You could play it on a Tesla if you want to. You could play Gears 5 everywhere. Why are people having a hard time finding games?
You can boot up the original Gears and get into a match relatively easily.
Why are they having problems
on the Gears 5?
The Gears 5 is everywhere. How many million people? 20 million Gamepass subscribers. This is the biggest game in Gamepass right now.
I mean,
it's on PC, and I could boot it up now on my Android phone and play some Gears with touch.
I hadn't turned my Series X on a little bit, so I went and booted up. I booted up Gears, and I had to do an update. I did not realize you cannot launch the game until it's finished downloading the update.
No, they have tons about that. Man, I'm gonna tell you the other thing.
It won't let you. Like on the PlayStation, you can still launch the game without, because I just wanted to play the single player. You can still launch the game without the update, and it'll just download in the background. And then once it installs,
because you need it for the online. You need it for the online.
But on the Xbox, But what if I just wanted to play?
The Unknown says it's 30 million people. It's 30 million people. Nah, this is not 30 million.
But what I'm saying is, I just wanted to play single player. You could not launch the game without updating. It would not let me.
Well, yeah. Well, this is what this is what I mean. What the market is telling you, 40% of the people don't want to crossplay on Gears. So that's just about half of your install base that is playing the game is disabling this option, but you force it. And why? And I bet you the majority, like you said, the majority of people disabling this are the console players. Mm-hmm. And now you forced it. So, what's up, Shadow the Ghost? So, and then you added new field of view options across all platforms. But this is the bullshit of this future that everybody plays everywhere. I said this before, and I said on Salties, PC gamers, console gamers, everyone is different. But Microsoft is trying to take the same chicken finger and telling you it's chicken parmesan, telling you it's chicken franchise, telling you that it's chicken nuggets, telling you they're trying to take the same game and make it work across these different devices, touch screens. You want to tell me I could play Gears 5 right now on my phone with touchscreen with 5G? Meanwhile, some dude is running around with a 3080 right now with widescreen support, Dolby Atmos all over the goddamn place.
144 FPS.
100, and I'm playing on a phone. You think my experience is I should be able to play that game and have a grand old time and going, cloud gaming is great? No. And this is my other thing, and this wasn't on the Grindsboard. This is something that I was thinking about this cloud future that everybody's jerking off about. Listen. As a game developer, you most likely want to make the best game you can, right? And make sure that these games work the best and optimized for the device that you're putting them on. So why would a developer who spends years developing a game, making sure that it works on the Series X, right? Optimized for the console, is then going to throw their hands up in fate and say, well, I hope somebody has fun with my game streaming over the cloud on a 5-inch phone. Because that person now is not going to get the same experience that you optimize for. Instead, their experience now is going to be dependent on their internet, dependent on their experience with the touchscreens. If Microsoft did a good job with the touchscreen control, whether they have the strap on with the friggin' controller, that person's experience is now dependent on a lot of different factors than the factors that the game developer did. So if I spend years making sure this game works the best, and know what's hilarious too? Is that we take Digital Foundry, and Digital Foundry goes 59 frames and 56 frames, and people have a conniption and share pictures on Twitter. The frame rate is lower on the PlayStation, on the Xbox. Whoa, 3 frames. But what the fuck about the dude that's on the phone that's waiting for 5G to hit him because he's under a fucking tree and he can't get a good reception playing that game? What do you think his frames are at? What do you think his latency is? And what about that person going, this game sucks. It's lagging all over the place. Fuck this game. Uninstall or not play it anymore. Delete. Now as a dev, you just made this game work on the Xbox. You made sure it's optimized for the Xbox, but now the person on the cloud is having a horrible experience and declares your game trash. Goes on Twitter, goes on forums, says this game is trash. The other person goes, you know what? I played it too. It's trash. It's trash.
This is the
social
problem.
media now carries this message, and as a game developer, you're like, what the fuck? I made this game works great on the X. We optimized it. What the hell? Because these people are experiencing it in the cloud. Now they're declaring your game trash, and it's out of your control as a developer.
There's nothing wrong
This is
with
the future,
cloud.
right?
Cloud. There's nothing wrong with cloud streaming being an option for people to play.
It's an
video
option.
games.
It's a parlor
But
trick.
to try to say that it's going to be the primary way gamers play games, to say that is asinine.
And that's the problem.
Because you're never going to be able to beat out. You're never going to be able to outdo native hardware. It's just never going to happen.
It's never going to
happen. I'm not saying streaming can't get to a point where it's pretty playable, and I'm not. I mean, I have no doubt that could happen. But to say that that's going to be the only way people play games is just, I don't believe it.
No, and that's the problem that I have, and that's why this whole like all or nothing that Microsoft is doing, people are eating that up. And they're like, all the games need to go on a service. All the games need to be a subscription. All these games everywhere. And I'm just showing an example of, do you really want this? You had the option of disabling crossplay, and now after update 7, they're like, you know what? That option's gone. It's a service game. We could do whatever we want now. And how do you vote with your wallet when they already got your money in the subscription? I got Gears 5 in my subscription. So how do you vote with your wallet saying, I don't like that, Dev? You can't, because they got your money already. So these are the challenges that I see with this And the problem that I have is not with the services themselves. It's with the people stating that this is the way the gaming should be. Because are you really gaming and going through this stuff and saying that this is great for gamers? This game is everywhere. Remember, more people to play Gears 5, the biggest group ever. It's on 1 billion PCs. It is on all the... Why does this one have a lower multiplayer rate than any other previous Gears? Gears 3 probably had longer legs than Gears 5.
Listen, I'm a huge Gears fan. I love Gears. Gears 1, 2, and 3.
Grind my Gears 5.
Absolutely, were absolutely masterpiece games. And then, I got the Gears 4, and I was like, what is it? I don't know. Gears 4, the campaign.
Gears 4 was safe. And they shoved so much Gears down our face that by the time 4 came out, it was too similar to all the other ones.
But the campaign had a bunch of that tower defense type. What is that?
Oh, yeah, where you set the turrets. Yeah.
I did not like that.
And
they
then
did
the multiplayer.
The multiplayer was good, but it's just something about the Coalition Gears games that don't grab me like they did on the 360. I don't know what it is, but I'm struggling trying to finish the campaign on Gears 5. I'm forcing myself.
Dude, it was a horrible. It was such a trash ending. Oh my god!
I don't know what happened.
4 had a better man. 5 had a horrible ending, and the choice was stupid. Oh
I don't know anything about your choice. I ain't got that far,
dude,
but Kate was Kate. The newer characters just are not as they're not as cool as the original Gears characters. And so I don't really care for them too much.
Sergeant says Game Pass is basically DRM 2.0. Suddenly okay because of the new shiny code of quality of yellow meta. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like I don't know how you celebrate this is the future when like all the stuff Microsoft's talking about is nice on paper, nice in theory, great. Like yeah, I want to save world peace. Like I want world peace and world hunger. It's great, but go do it. Where is he? Where's this goddamn guy?
Enough from me. We're gonna have the games do our
Let the games do the goddamn talking. Why is it so hard? But when you see things like this, and you see what I showed last week, and just show what is devolving into, it's devolving. We used to be up here. We used to have great games, decent games, even early in the Xbox One generation. And it just went... And if Sony's doing this incredible, doing something that not even Ubisoft or third party is doing, we should dislike that and say, Sony, you got to do what Shit Show Factory is doing over here? Selling 4% of a game to a market? And it's not just Dungeons and Dragons. It was all the other games. Hitman 3, all of them. The ratio is astronomical. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's just in the UK. Well, that fucking sucks because they used to have the UK. They used to do well in the UK with the 360. Mm-hmm. Get that market back, motherfucker. Get it back.
Well,
but no, that's just the way it is. It's 90-10. That's just, well, you're not going to become world dominant when half the 75% of the world don't give a fuck about you. See, that's what you don't understand. This cloud shit is a way for Phil to Phillness his way into Europe, to Phillness his way into India, to Phillness his way into China. But guess what? Those countries don't give a shit about you because you have yet to make an impact with gaming there. The ratio of hardware is absolutely astronomical. So you're poking your dick in a flat wall. Because those people don't give a shit about you. Because you abandoned any type of quality games in the last 4 years to go jerk off with Game Pass and xCloud. That's the problem that you did. You diluted the games that you were coming out with and the production. Fuck, he says it.
When I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years.
In 2019, when you think about Xbox, you think about quality games. He acknowledges that their first party is not outputting quality in 2019. They haven't done it in the last few years. We're in 2021, 2 consoles later, dude, and you still have yet to output this stuff. But you tell me about dongles for TVs, apps for goddamn Samsung TVs.
freaking problem.
Strap-ons for controllers. Rikishi, goddamn fucking Kinishes for your phones. I see these people with $100 strap-ons to their fucking $1,000 phone and telling me that gaming is too expensive. Console gaming is too expensive. They got $100 fucking Kinish, Razer Kinish, attached to their $1,000 phone that they're supposed to be, and they're basically going, oh, $400 for a console? Oh, fuck out of here. This is the future.
So to me, it's a slap in the face.
It's a fucking slap in the face.
You are wanting to sell all this hardware, whether it's consoles, talking about new consoles that's coming in the future, talking about this little streaming stick, talking about xCloud, all these services, all this hardware, create your own controllers. This stuff is cool, but what about the games that we're gonna play?
Oh, they're coming.
Services
all right, move on. Next topic. How fucking disrespectful is that to you? When you're saying that, somebody comes snapping at you going, they're coming. Next topic. What are you complaining about? It's fucking ridiculous. Because you're talking about right now.
They say it's over.
Yeah, the drought's over. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox has games now. Yeah.
Microsoft's charging. They want you to pay for $100 strap-ons. God damn it. So now talking about the studios and welcome to the family, right? We're going to go right to the GrindsTable. I'm going to talk about this thing to wrap this shit up. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You knew I didn't get any more subscribers. Let's go. Grinders. Get in here. We got over 80 people watching at 100. Let's go. I'm going to go right to the Grindsboard. Where the hell's my shit? Here we go. Let me get to this. Make sure I have sound this time because everybody don't like when I do my GrindsTable and I do not have sound on it. Here it is. Here we go. Let me get this. GrindsTable for the final. Welcome to the family. Let's go. So here we are at the... What the hell is my shit? Oh, yeah, I gotta turn the display off. There we go. And, yeah, so, and Link, I didn't mean to cut you off there, what you were raging about with the clouds. You can continue with that, but I just wanted to say that's how the argument is. It's like, they're coming. It's over. The drought's over. Like, I could go back to bed now. Like, meanwhile, you have no release dates. You don't even know what these games are. And... Speaking of these studios that they purchased them in 2018. They purchased a whole goddamn publisher now with ZeniMax. And I thought the reason why they published them is because to compensate for their first-party studios not coming out with games anytime soon. And now we find out that Bethesda is just as fucking years off as Microsoft is. So, shit, I thought they were there to pacify the situation. Maybe next year is, like, early for them because these other games are not coming out for 2 and 3 years after that. And if we're talking about 75 to 25% ratios in sales right now, what do you think it's going to be by the time these games come out? Dude, it's going to be 90 to 10. The Xbox is going to be obsolete. The people don't realize this. Like, it is going to be obsolete. Like, Phil Spencer can only hold this ship for as long as... and actually, he already has it because he knows it's about him. It's about him, his Phillness, and him just talking, pandering to the audience. Oh, we have surprises for you. We have stuff for you. We have stuff for you. Okay, Phil, thanks. I'm going to go back into my hole again. He realizes that it's not about the Xbox. It's not about the games. It's not about the services to him. To the what's left, it's about him. It's about his interaction with the community. Right. It's about him interacting with the community. It's about him sending his employees to their podcast to give them clout, to give them things. It's more about the social network than about gaming. And that is where I draw the line. Because I'm not going to pander to... That holds no value to me as a gamer and as a consumer. Him saying some nice words to somebody, that's nice. I'm sure you're a nice guy. You do take people out to dinner. But that doesn't give me content for me to have experiences on the stuff that I'm buying. And the fact that it devolved from that into I just come on stage now at E3, announce studios, and everybody will get off my back. Now, basically, he just comes on and smiles and now puts shit on his shelf and says a few things, and people have news for weeks. And then he got his insiders out there. Sacco.
Why is he always doing all these freaking
Where's
interviews?
Matt Booty? He should know what's going on at all these studios. Where is the booty? I know Phil's booty is locked away somewhere, but where is Matt Booty? He is like a puppet. Maybe his name is Booty because Phil got his hand up his ass and he's controlling him like a fucking puppet. I don't know. Where is Booty? Booty's running these fucking studios. Where are the game announcements? Where was he? Why does Phil have to poke his big ass head on every goddamn Xbox thing? Where is the booty? I want the booty. Big old booty. Where is he?
The rumors are true.
I want the booty.
know.
He should know what's going on at these studios. But Phil pops his head out,
You're right.
puts on his jacket, talks. Where are the gaming updates to these games? Because guess what? This last E3, people waited for E3, but you've yet to talk about progress of the games you announced even 2 years ago. And you could talk about COVID all you want, but how the hell is Nintendo getting out shit, Sony getting out shit, and we're a few years off? Well, COVID hit you harder than everybody else? Why is Matt Booty not talking for his studios? Why is Matt Booty not talking about even things that they used to announce? Minecraft 4K update and ray tracing. Where's that? You had a 4K texture pack supposed to come out with the 1X. Where's that?
Yep. Oh, wait, Minecraft?
Minecraft,
Oh, they
where's
canceled
that?
shit.
Where's the
canceled
ray
that shit.
tracing demo that they had? It was a tech demo on video. Is that coming
ain't
to
coming
Xbox? Get me to get
It
a
ain't never
console.
coming out.
Is that coming? I don't know.
How hard is it to add ray tracing to Minecraft? Maybe it is. I
Well,
don't
they
know.
showed it
But
already. It just doesn't come to the gaming console. You know, my thing is that you have these studios. You've opened up Pandora's box to show us what they're working on. Perfect Dark, Fable, all this other stuff. You have yet to show gameplay of these games. You then don't show progress. See, that's what Sony has been doing, is that they show progress of these games. Yes, we might not like all their games, but they're showing progress. You announce a game, you show a longer trailer, you show a deep dive, you release the game. Microsoft shows an icon, and you don't hear from it for 2 years. And that's what they did with all their games. See,
But
that's
think
the other
about
problem.
it.
All their games. It's not just
But
one game. It's
even-
not like God of War. It's all their games. Fable.
Even
the Perfect
even
Dark.
when Sony,
Everwild.
even when Sony, but think about this, Jez. Even when Sony signs deals with third parties to make exclusive games for the PlayStation, even those games are better than the deals that Microsoft is signing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not even about everything.
Why can't you get Final Fantasy? Why can't you get
What about a
friggin'
game like Kinect?
Far Cry 6? Or where were you shopping
What
around
is
for
going
Kenna?
on? You know, and I mean, yeah, Bethesda's not going to be making, once these deals are up, they're not going to be making games for PlayStation anymore. But still, even the deals that Microsoft signs are shit. For the most part. So there's a failure at all kinds of levels over there at Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top, you have the man, Phil Spencer, who, as long as he's doing interviews and hopping on people's podcasts every now and then and making outlandish statements that people try to spin, and making promises about things that are going to come at some point. I mean, he's not producing.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's the thing. Like, the production really is lacking on their end. And what I say is the progress of these studios. So now you see that, Sony went ahead and, did some studio announcements where they just said that they purchased Housemarque. They welcome to the family. And they purchased Nexus, whatever the hell they are, the Nexus, who are like a PC type porting studio.
Well, they do a lot of things.
And
They're
they do some
support
technical
type
stuff.
Studio. They do a lot of they port games to PC, but they've also helped a studio like Guerrilla ship games.
Yeah.
So they've been more of a support studio and a porting studio than a studio that's made their own titles. And I mean, if Sony decides to use, I don't like their PC strategy. You know what I mean? But if they decide to bring Nixus in to help support their internal studios with getting games launched and helping port titles like PS4 titles over to PC, at least you don't have your internal studios working on that crap, so they can focus on the PlayStation. So, because if you listen to what Herman Hulse said, he said PlayStation is still front and center at their of their business model and their strategy. And yes, PC, they're looking into the PC space, but as far as these people talking about day and date, all the Sony titles coming to PC day and date, at that point, what's the point of making a console?
And then I would get a PC. Exactly. What's the point of getting a console? Day and date, I will just probably play on PC. That'll have everything there and call it a day. Or, we'll see. You will see. Because my thing as a consumer, if these games come out for cheaper, because if you look too, Sony, when they're putting their games on PC, those ports are, they're $40 and $50. Like, and I got them for $10 on the goddamn PlayStation. They're on sale for like $10 or free in a service, and they're charging $40, $50 on PC for it. So PC as a consumer consciousness, like if I'm just sitting there on PC and the game happens to show up and I don't have a PlayStation, yeah, I'll buy it on PC. But if you're giving me better deals on the console and that's 2 years later and you're putting this thing in a service, like, why would I spend $50 on it on PC? See, that's where I mean this waterfall method. Whereas they're satisfied. They know that the PC audience has different expectations and is different than the console audience. So you maximize the console experience at all different price intervals and a service, and then you go put the game on goddamn PC. You charge $40, add a fresh coat of paint to some of the options and stuff like that, and sell it to them. And call it a day. Nobody loses quality. Nobody gets compromised. If you want everything day and date on PC, compromises will be made. This was the fear that I had in 2016 and 2017 when Microsoft announced this. I was like, oh shit, all their first party, every single one is going to be day and date. Not only does that put a question mark as to where I buy my games, but now I got to worry about, is the quality going to be compromised because they're putting it on more platforms? And that was my fear back. And Sea of Thieves was example number 1. State of Decay 2 janky ass shit was example number 2. And Halo has now been the example that I didn't think I would see. I thought Halo was just going to be a service game, like an open world Minecraft type thing where they'll just add content to. I didn't know it was going to look like that. Especially on a new engine that's built for next gen. What engine is that? That looks like a shit engine. And the problem is that I've seen a degradation in the quality, but I haven't heard a degradation in the amount of bullshit coming out of their mouth. And now they buy studios, they buy themselves some lifeline, but now these studios are not. What has Microsoft gotten from all these studios? They've gotten bleeding ass. Which, another game that was on every platform imaginable. All the PCs in the world, billions of devices, all the consoles, all the phones, Android phones. And yes, less than a year later, there's not enough people in there to warrant any more additional content to that passion project. Okay, fine. But more people to play the games. That was the solution, right, Link? Was that more people to play these games will give these games legs. Or give these games more, and you're seeing games die off faster than any time ever in their history.
It's not about accessibility. It's about the quality of the title.
Exactly. He's focused on accessibility.
I don't give a damn how many consoles and phones and PCs it's available on. If the game is shit, nobody's playing it.
Exactly. And so, Twisted Sync says here, Horizon Zero Dawn is in the top of GOG and Steam right now. Exactly. Because those games, because Sony put those games on there and they charge $40, $50 for it. But now also, too, the other thing is that talking about games now, Steam games, Microsoft games, because this is the first time they've been putting games on the Steam in the last year or so, these are all new experiences that a lot of these PC guys have. And they probably want to download these things. So Sea of Thieves is like selling on Steam and stuff like that. And the thing is that even if these Xbox games are doing well on Steam, because that's where it seems to be going, like it's better on Steam, it disproves that Game Pass on PC is even a thing. Because if that many people waited to buy Sea of Thieves on Steam and not get it through Game Pass, it shows that Game Pass on PC is not this amazing service that everybody's using, because it wouldn't trend and sell as much on Steam if everybody experienced the game on Game Pass. So either way, again, trying to search for W's on this stuff just yields more L's. It shows that this model, and this is my point, this model works with some games but doesn't work for every game. And it's the all-inclusive, every game needs to be this that grinds my gears. Because you're basically telling me that everything needs to be a chicken. There's no room for steak. There's no room for filet mignons. There's no room for pork. Everything needs to be a chicken. You gotta eat chicken. Everything has to be this. And why? Why is this ultimatum that everything needs to be in this fucking service, in this type of ship me later content, in this subscription cloud model, everywhere to play your games, when the mobile market is not asking for this game? I was talking to my friend. He plays Call of Duty on his phone. He's not asking for Gears of War. He don't care about Halo streaming, Master Chief Collection on his phone. He goes, how would I play those games? I'm like, oh, they do have some touch stuff. He's like, but I'm streaming it. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, I play Call of Duty natively on my phone. Like, I play Call of Duty natively on my phone. I'm like, well, you could use a controller. He goes, well, why would I want to walk around with a controller and a thing? I want to be discreet when I'm playing, because I play when I'm at work. That's where a lot of people play their mobile games, when they're at work. They want to be discreet. They don't want to pull out a friggin' strap-on and goddamn a $60 controller and sit there with a fucking jacked up goddamn screen and being like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be working now, but check me out. Like, everybody wants to just play on their lap with their fucking phone, because that's the mobile experience. It's accessible, it's quick, it's discreet, you're going. You don't want to pull out this fucking contraption when you want to play a mobile game in front of your boss, on the phone, on the plane, on a goddamn fucking train. And remember to bring all that shit with you.
I work in the cell phone industry, okay?
Oh, there you go.
I work for a big company, big wireless provider. Mm-hmm. And mobile, and we're kind of we have some services, or the Android and Apple have some services where you can pay a monthly subscription.
Yes, Apple games, video games, and, right? And Android games. Yeah, I subscribed to Android. Right. I tried that out. So it was not that great.
So
the Apple one's
what
better.
I've seen, I have yet to see a single customer with a freaking what's that thing where you can dock your phone and hook it up to a controller. I've yet to see it.
Yeah, the clip-on with the controller, or the...
We sell that thing. We sell that.
The Rikishi thing. It's like Kinect. It's $100.
No one's really interested in it. Mobile gamers are different types of gamers.
Exactly.
They would like the free-to-play Candy Crush type games. They're not interested in console games. They don't even consider themselves gamers. Exactly. They are, but they don't consider themselves gamers because they don't play console type games. So Microsoft targeting these people, not saying that they shouldn't look into this market, because there's a lot of people there.
Yes,
but they're going to be sorely mistaken if they're going to be able to market games like Halo and Gears to these mobile gamers, because they are not interested in those experiences at all.
Exactly. They're not asking for this stuff. Nobody on a phone is asking, I really, really want to play Bleeding Edge. Like, they don't even know what this stuff is. That's why my problem is the effort that Microsoft is making at the cost of not delivering quality content to their core audience is the ultimate problem that I have with this whole thing. And when I see Sony delivering to their core audience and people complaining about a $10 upgrade, about a $60, $70 game, and they're delivering quality, great games that are giving me amazing experiences with the sound, with the input, with the immersion, with the storytelling, with the graphics, that I'm taking pictures. And you see, all these Xbox gamers that have Game Pass have 300 games accessible to them. Do you see screenshots and photos? No, it's lit up. Social media is lit up with the latest Sony game with screenshots and clip arts and video calls and highlights and all this stuff. You would think that if all of these Game Pass subscribers, over 20 million of them, have access to all these games, you'll be getting spammed with all these games. You want to know why? Because they're older games. They're games that don't warrant a graphical, like, oh, I got to screenshot this. This looks incredible. No. And they don't even put goddamn photo modes in Gears of War.
The thing is, Sony will dip their toe into some of these
They
other
will.
avenues, but they do not neglect their core fan base.
Exactly.
And that is the problem. Microsoft is spreading themselves in so many different areas that they're forgetting about the people who got them where they are now.
Thank you.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem. And that's why even when they buy these studios, I still don't trust Microsoft with their vision as to what these games are. Of all the companies, Microsoft needs to prove that these games that they're delivering from these studios is quality. And that's a question that's been a big question mark on here, because the connotation is that Game Pass does not equal quality. You might have some little diamonds in the rough, like you put in like a MLB The Show, which didn't even review that great this year. It was kind of a cash-in this year. But basically, you do have some gleams in there, but you need consistency, especially if you're expecting somebody to pay monthly over time. You need to have consistency. You can't just have a hot week and then be like, we did it, cash out. You need them coming back. You need them subscribing next month and the month after that. And also, too, I do think that Microsoft is relying a lot of these people that upped for like 3 years of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with their Xbox Live. Right now, they're just converting those people. But the thing is that they wait till they get their monthly subscribers, and they got to get these people paying because there's no more promotions. But the problem is that these studios have yet to prove themselves. I know Fable, but I don't know what Fable is from Playground Games. I know of Perfect Dark from Rare, but I don't know what Perfect Dark from the Initiative is. You need to show that stuff. And then when you look at what Sony's doing, and I have these pictures up here, which is pretty funny in my thumbnail. I have Sony's acting like the Godfather here. They're basically going, okay, Housemarque, we'll give you some money. You go make a game. You want to be AAA? You want to be part of the family? Go make a game. Here's some money. We'll fund you. We'll get you out of the indie scene. We'll get you in some AAA quality games. We'll give you the budget. You go make us a game. Game does well, maybe you're part of the family.
And so, I was listening to this interview where Phil was talking about how he was the one who decided that Initiative, which, I mean, he's the boss, but he decided that this new studio that they just built was going to be working on Perfect Dark. He brought the idea to them to work on this IP. And maybe, maybe they can do something with Perfect Dark.
Maybe.
That we haven't seen, But, yeah, Microsoft needs to buckle down and focus on their Xbox fan base. And, yes, I understand their strategy includes PC, mobile, streaming, all this crap. But at the end of the day, if you neglect your console base, which I think is your most loyal supporters, it's going to bite them in the ass.
It is, and that's the thing. And then when
it already is,
and then when Microsoft it starts going, hey, you know what? That cell phone thing didn't pan out, or hey, we're on 3 billion devices right now, which they're close to it. They're pretty much on everything right now, and we're not seeing Satya's number. We're not seeing that subscriber count. We're not seeing that growth that we promised Satya that we'll have by putting us on every TV possible and a thumb drive. Satya's gonna be like, you know what, Phil? I gave you all that money. You basically bought all these studios for all this content. This content's not coming as fast as I want. I don't see these numbers growing as quickly as you want it for the cloud. And you know what? We're going to do what we wanted to do in 2016. It's done. And thank you, Xbox division. Maybe Amazon will purchase some of our IPs. Wrap it up, and they'll do it with a blink of a fucking eye. You look at Mixer,
And I'd hate to see it.
look at me. I hate it. I would not want that. But this is why. And I know a lot of people go, there's nothing that we can do about it. This is the way they're going. And I think that's why everybody's just complacent and just go along for the ride. But the one thing is fine. If that's the way the company's going, fine. I know there's not much you can do about it because this is what they're doing. But the one thing that you cannot acknowledge, the one thing that you cannot avoid is that the gaming experience has definitely hurt. Now, yes, you might be playing games. I'm not saying there are no games to play, but the games we used to get, the games that they used to deliver to us, we have yet to see and haven't seen for the last few years. So it is not all sunshines and rainbows. That's the thing. And the fact is that we came from a desolate type of trying to prove yourself as an Xbox console with the PlayStation dominating everything, that we got second fiddle with GTA, Final Fantasies. We got all secondhand shit on the OG Xbox. And it wasn't until the 360 came and laid the gauntlet down that we became a day and date with Sony games and spent that justification and grew that market, that they became basically almost an equal to what Sony was getting, because they didn't get a lot of those games on day one. It had to prove itself. And then to kind of come back and see Final Fantasy becoming a PlayStation exclusive again, all these exclusives going to Sony, and Microsoft is just getting second hand-me-downs in a subscription service. How did we go back to the beginning? We're celebrating Xbox 20 years right now, and we're basically year one of Xbox. And even back then, we had games like Blood Wake and passion. OG games. They had passion. Of course they did.
They had way more passion for the console space than they do now. I mean, they went in with the Xbox with a brand new console. First time kind of jumping into console gaming.
They came in with games, man.
They came in with exclusive titles. They didn't launch a console with not a single exclusive first party game. They didn't have a lot of studios, but they went out and bought stuff. They went out and paid for games like Ninja Gaiden. You know what I mean? And I don't know what's going on now.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive. They had partnerships, man. They had exclusives. That's what I mean. If you know that your first party is not gonna be there and Bethesda's not gonna be there, then why are you not out there making aggressive deals to get games in your service, like to do something? And the fact that you could just sit here, put Phil on an interview, and everybody just rah, you know? Yeah, I think it's funny. Ghostface says that Phil's going to take those numbers to the grave. They say that where's the transparency? Yeah, they're so transparent, but they won't tell you about their sales or numbers or anything like that. Yeah, they're so transparent, though. And the thing is that they're so transparent with the xCloud and the blades and where you're going to play. But when you talk about games, they're like, oh, next topic. Yeah, they're working on them. Next topic. But what's funny is that Sony's strategy seems to be more of like this: you go do some stuff for me, and then you become part of the family. And I do think that they're doing that also with those other studios, Jade Raymond Studios, and that other studio that they're going to, we'll fund the game, we'll see how it does, and maybe we'll buy you. We'll see. Back 4 Blood was a good get. I do agree, Kitsmood. I think that was a great get. I was interested in that game, and that is a good get with Game Pass. But they need more of it. And the Ascent is good. Yeah, the Ascent is indie from last year. But that one's going to be good. But, I mean, bigger games, dude. Bigger games. Like, Back 4 Blood is up there. Game. Come on, man. Now, Psychonauts 2, get out of here. Get out of here. Now you're going too far.
That game doesn't look.
You're working your way down the list. But I'm talking like Back 4 Blood.
Those graphics look like N64.
Oof. Psychonauts 2 was. There were people asking for a sequel to Psychonauts 2 since the OG Xbox, because it was an OG Xbox exclusive. Psychonauts. I played it on the OG Xbox.
I wasn't interested in it back then.
But they were asking for a sequel. I think even for the 360. But, like, for the 360, people asking. That's how long this game they've been asking for it. Like, that's when Tim Schafer was on his high horse. Then he went wacko and went, like, He went like where'd he go to? He did that indie shit. He went, yeah, I know. Turtle Rock is making it after Evolve. I know. Turtle Rock, Evolve was, oh my God, Evolve was like the worst.
I had a lot of fun with a lot of Evolve, man. A lot of people hate on that game, but I had a ton of fun with that game.
The problem with Evolve was that they try to make it one of those those shoutcast type game, like this competitive game, and they should just kind of let it evolve. Like, just make it. Like, I hate when they make a game come out and they kind of like.
They didn't have enough content either.
Yeah. And then that was another issue with like paid people. That was a whole hero shooter shit where you had to pay for monsters.
Oh my God.
You got 3 monsters and then you had to pay for other classes, and those classes had different abilities that others didn't have. So like it affected the game depending on who you spent your money on. Yeah, again, another failed experiment, but that was that hero shooter hype with that stuff. But we'll see. Yeah, I love Left 4 Dead, and thank God somebody's making it. Because, yeah, I'm excited for Back 4 Blood. I want to see what that looks like. But again, a lot of, the thing is that it seems to me that, Sony's doing, now I don't know if they're going to buy these studios. And again, I really don't care like that they're buying studios. Like, I wasn't hyping up this friggin' news that they bought studios, because the studio hype, it is what it is. Like, Housemarque's been making games for them for the longest time, like, and now they're making another game. Like, it's nice that they'll have the backing and that they believe in them to make another game, which is that's good, because you don't want to see them just forget, like, hey, you tried, goodbye, and now they're out there. So I'm glad that they're at least they're funding that thing. And Nexus, whatever that other studio was, I think that it will be a PC port studio, but maybe some sort of outsourced technical stuff, maybe some like motion capture or whatever the hell they do. But I think
they're going to do multiple things. I think they're going to do that, but I also think they're going to help.
Are they working on a game too? Like, they were working on an IP. Did they say that they were going to work on an IP? Let me see. In his announcement, I thought he said Nexus Software. Oh, wait, in the PlayStation blog. I thought he said that they were working on a game, too. And then they keep saying this Blue Point thing is about to happen. Which that will be, they make incredible games. They know how to redo games. Yeah, let me see what he wrote here. What the hell is it? Damn it. Oh, he said something. I don't know what their he said something, I thought, on Nick's. Oh, here it is. I spelled that thing wrong. The blog, because I think Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helms, whatever the hell his name is, he said it.
Herman Holst.
Time to play the game. Oh, they hired a game director. We're looking back in 2020. We'll see. We'll see what they're going to do. I thought he said something that they're going to work on a game as well. But I do think that they're going to, be more the support studio. But like I said, a good strategy for them, especially if they're putting games on PC after the fact, is to kind of make the game come out while they work on the sequel, have them port over the, the previous game while they make the sequel, and not have to worry about compromising the main studio, splitting them up to say, hey, you got to make a PC port at the same time. So maybe they could use them like that. I don't know. Or again, studios, it is what it is. This studio buying craze. Whatever.
But I like the way Sony is doing it. Nothing against Microsoft, but it does seem very strategic as far as what Sony is doing. The studios they're adding to their portfolio.
Well, they're making they're kind of, and we'll see what Bluepoint does. But like the thing is that they're kind of, well, at least with the Housemarque one, like the fact that, and the same thing with Insomniac, like they kind of bought them when they were riding their hype, You just released the game. It did really well. Like, it did well. It sold. It's in the news. All right, we're buying you, Insomniac, coming off of Spider-Man. They didn't buy Insomniac coming off of what is it? The Sunset Overdrive. Oh, we're gonna buy you now. No, they let them release Spider-Man, and then they bought them like on their high. Same thing with Housemarque. Like, they didn't buy them after Nex Machina, which was a good game, but they bought them after they made this game. So like Sony is buying them like when they're at their kind of their high. where Microsoft is definitely, and that's why I put the Cheech and Chong reference out there, where in front of the titty twister going, we got Game Pass, we got free games, we got cheap games, we got service games, we got this, we got games for only a penny. If you find anything less than a penny, fuck it. Like, that's Phil outside a titty twister, like, just grabbing, like, you're in a studio that was gonna shut down. We'll buy you. We'll take you out of debt. We'll do this. Like, Microsoft is definitely fluffing their feathers, buying a bunch of studios to make them to get that content for Game Pass. But some of these studios, though, the guy from In Exile was like gonna retire, and then he came back because Phil bought him. And Bethesda buy him after Fallout 4, but they buy him after Fallout 76. Like, they were kind of on their some of them were on their downswing. I would say, Ninja Theory was on its upswing because they were riding high on that Hellblade. So that was the biggest purchase I thought was great, was that one. And the same thing with Playground. But Playground, they've been putting out those games. So like the Playground, Hellblade, but the other ones, some of them, Compulsion, but they weren't really riding high off of We Happy Few. But like I would say Ninja Theory and possibly Playground were those two big ones. And then Obsidian, I would say, they had nothing to do with the Outer Worlds because, Outer Worlds wasn't even published by them. They just happened to buy them while they're doing it. But that was a smart get because that game kind of put Obsidian on the map. So I could see, a couple of their purchases as strategic and beneficial, but some of them, they're just, fluffing feathers, like just trying to get quantity and helping out devs.
That's all it was. You add a bunch. You need a bunch when they own a service and they need to have a huge amount of studios so they can have when they do start dropping titles, they can have a steady flow of games coming to that service.
Yeah.
So it does make sense for them to go out and try to purchase. And I mean, if you listen to what Housemarque said, they said that they were pursued by some of the big names. In the industry. They wouldn't obviously name the big players that were looking at acquiring them, but Sony made a good choice by swooping them up, and they turned down some of those offers to go to PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's, definitely with, yes, they have a prior relationship with Sony, so it does make sense for them to want to continue that relationship.
Yeah. And that was a smart move, and I would say that's akin to like how Playground was making games for Microsoft and nobody really else, and that Microsoft got them on Playground games. But like, the thing is that this whole buying studios and stuff, and I know Sergeant's saying Tencent's out there, Amazon's out there, Google's still out there. Yo, what's up, Sinister? How you doing? I understand. That's why I think a lot of these, these studio things are a big deal because it kind of protects them from getting scooped up by somebody else. The thing is like, if you look at Sony buying Insomniac and what they yielded in the amount of time since they purchased them, like, if that's what we're going to get from somebody, like, is Housemarque going to turn around a game in the next 2 years and come out with a AAA game, or they're going to be 5 or 6 years out? Like, my thing is the output. And I also, if they're going to see a studio purchase, it's the IP. That's why I do think, yo, what's up, Neil? I do think, the Bethesda deal, that was a lot of IP that they got. Now let's see what they do with it. That's the thing. Like, because they got a lot of IP with Rare. What did they do with that IP? You know what I mean? That's why, like, they have a track record with Rare where they got incredible IP that Rare built. They had Banjo, which they friggin' screwed that IP up, with nuts and bolts. It wasn't supposed to be a Banjo game. Perfect Dark, like, even when that interview that you were talking about with Phil, even Ryan McCaffrey's like, well, Perfect Dark was great on this N64, but then it wasn't so great on the 360, and it feels like, yeah, not a lot of people asking for, like, it is what it is, but, we thought it would be a great opportunity to bring back a female protagonist in the Xbox line. I'm like, right. Well, so that's why you chose Perfect Dark, I guess, to,
It wasn't because
people were asking for it, really.
The reasons he gave was not... I don't know.
I know the thing that I understand why, but I would have loved if they did it because it was something that they saw an
Do
opportunity.
you think that this was a game? What studio is this? The Initiative.
Brand new studio
I'm sure
making
the
Perfect
Initiative
Dark.
would have loved to make a new IP.
I'm sure they would have.
I mean, but Phil said nope. You're working on Perfect Dark.
Well, he's like I gave them some options and they chose Perfect Dark. I'm like, okay, whatever Phillness he's talking about. But
options give it?
Dude, he's like perfect. He's like Perfect Dark.
Disney Rush.
I know, right? Like, what options did he give him? He's like, well, we got Perfect Dark and we have a Cameo. Which one? Like, I don't understand it. Like, the thing, like, I know they had Conker, they had Perfect Dark, they had Banjo-Kazooie, they had even Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Conker, man. They killed that. They pissed me off with that one.
I don't see modern day Microsoft doing a Conker justice. You know what I mean? They would never.
No way. Imagine, I was playing Ratchet and Clank. I'm like, imagine if they did a Conker like this. Holy shit. Like, that's what I want to see from them. Like, imagine that. Oh, my God. You want to know what will make me buy an Xbox day one? Like, immediately, like, I'll go to Amazon right now and order that shit. Wait out line is that game exclusive on the console? Oh, yeah. And it looks like that. Buck Rogers said the option was Perfect Dark on the door. Phil took him to that Santa Monica Studios. He goes, look at this sunset. You get brunches every Sunday. All this stuff. All right. Perfect Dark, or you go back home. Well, this is your home. They're like, Perfect Dark. Blinks. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But the thing is that they have, and this is why I would say, like, they go, Microsoft always had potential. Yes, they got potential now with all these studios, but they always had potential with the IPs. They just didn't really do anything with them. They took my poor Conker and they threw him into Project Spark as a single-player campaign and used his assets. You make your Conker game, they said. And then they shut down Project Spark and the servers fucking a year later. And Team Dakota. There goes Conker. There goes Project Spark, the game creator. Look at Sony supporting Dreams. That shit better come to PC soon because they're making incredible stuff in Dreams. I always jump into that stuff and just play like random stuff that's in there because they've done some crazy things. Even the VR, it's insane what they've done with Dreams and how Media Molecule. You know what I mean? Talk about them anymore, but what they've done with Dreams is absolutely insane. And they're just going to build on that because the production and what those games are, that is, you want to know Gamepass? You want to have fun, like just to find stuff? Dreams is your Gamepass in spades. Because there is things in there that you can't believe that people are making that stuff. You want to talk about, indies and I want to discover games. Just play Dreams and see what the hell they do. And you can strap the VR on. And watch what the soundtracks, voiceovers, storytelling. Crazy. What they've done. And nobody talks about Dreams. Dreams is freaking awesome. I love Project Spark. Project Spark was great. You could use the Kinect to animate your characters and stuff. They shut that whole shit down. I used to watch all the Team Dakota dev diaries. Shut it all down. Fable? What's a Fable? We fight a pile of shit. The big mountain of poo. Like, what's a Fable? But from Playground Games. Like, I hope it's good. Does Playground Games know how to make a story and narrative, missions? I guess. Hope it's not no Fable Festival. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that I trust them, but like, again, I trust them as a good studio, but I don't know if they could take that IP. And my thing was, I love Perfect Dark franchise. I love the first Perfect Dark. The 360 one was all right. Like, I'm not gonna say it was horrible, but the multiplayer was bad. Oh, it was really bad.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God, that mech and shit that you get into and the flying jetpack thing. I'm like, what was this stuff? Oh, it was horrible. The vehicles they had, it was the worst. It was really bad. Yeah, game night. I know that Dreams work in progress, man. I'm telling you, the stuff that people create in that game is insane. That's right. It's its own Game Pass for $20. It is, and that's not even the game itself, where you can learn to make stuff. But you could search anything thing. I should do a dream stream again. I'm going to do another dream stream. You could search for any friggin' character you want, and you could put them in any world. Like, people have made everything. It is insane. I mean, I found Conker in there. I showed Conker. Even Craig is in Dreams. I shared the picture from Twitter. Craig is in Dreams. They made him in Dreams. Maybe I'll download Craig and I'll put facial hair. I'll do what Tony's doing over at 343. But, like, the point is that they always had the potential. They had these IPs. Now they just got more of it. And we have to wait and see what the output is. But what Sony's doing with their studio purchases is that they're actually having them produce something and then kind of locking them down after. And even these partnerships that they're doing with these other studios is a smart move because it lets them flex their muscles a little bit while being, observed to Sony, making sure that, hey, this game, and now if it's trash, hey, you know what? Hey, this game didn't work out the way it is. Thank you very much. You could go put it on Game Pass now. Or they could be like, you know what? That is something awesome. We want to see what you can do with more money and more funding. Why don't you do a next exclusive for us? Or maybe, we'll make you, somebody's interested in you after that game, we'll buy you or something like that. Now you work for us. And taking these studios, because I got to admit, the biggest difference between the two companies that I see is the curation of content from Sony versus the curation of content from Microsoft. Sony seems to be identifying games that just have that look, that have that potential. And Microsoft, it just, I don't know who is in charge of curation, but they do have some gleams of it, but just it's not as consistent. And they're depending on a service. They need to be on point if they're going to curate content. Like that Games with Gold is garbage. Look who's curing stuff at PS Now and PS Plus. Those games at least some discussion points on there. Games with Gold, Jesus.
It's clear that Games with Gold is an afterthought. They're just putting random
they devalued Xbox
titles
Live.
in it.
That's what it is.
Because they don't care about Xbox Live anymore. It's all about Game Pass. Game Pass is single-handedly, God, what can I say? Game Pass
it's devaluing everything that we valued up to this point with Xbox. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's devalued.
It's like it's gotten to the point where Game Pass.
But people's the best deal in gaming.
It's like, oh, and then when they put up the list of games with gold, and they're like, well, and then they'll put out PS Plus, and then people will be like, well, that game I was able to play it in Game Pass. The Game Pass and Gold are two different services.
I know.
So I don't want to hear it. And it's
well, here it is right here. So the games are, and know what's crazy is that they still do this where they don't give it to you all at the first of the month. They give it to you like the first half, you get two of the bangers, and then the other two bangers come at the end of the month. They bang you from the beginning and the back. You get Planet Alpha, July 1st to the 31st. It's a $20 game for free. I think the people that write these prices at the bottom must have a laugh. Rock of Ages 3, Make and Break. A $30 game from July 16th to August 15th. Those are your Xbox One games, I guess. Then they give you two other Xbox OG game, Conker Live and Reloaded. It's been backwards compatible since like when they announced like the second year or first year backwards compatibility. Because I have it. I have the physical copy here. I was reading the book to it. And what's amazing is in the back of the book, hold on. You just hear this. One second. You want to hear something? Here, hear this. So this is when they had first like color books and stuff like that, like the full colored books from Rare, right? Conker Live and Reloaded. I'm looking at the booklet, right? Here's the back. Okay, the back of the booklet. These are the games they're advertising. Ready? What year is this? 2004, right? 2004. So Conker's Live and Reloaded. Conker's Live and Reloaded was a remake of a reskin of the first game that was on the N64, And then it was an online kind of vehicle battle mode, which it was pretty complex. Like they had different vehicles and different areas where you had a lockdown and you could spawn different like NPCs and stuff like that. Like it was pretty intense. It was just the multiplayer part of it. You can't play that. That was the new part of Conker Live and Reloaded, was the multiplayer part. But the Xbox servers are down, so you can't play any of the online stuff. So it's basically a half a game right now. You just play the Conker Live and just the other game, which you could probably play in Rare Replay anyway. But hear this, right? So the back of Conker Live and Reloaded, these are the games that they had, right? Fable, Jade Empire, Halo 2, and my most favorite game, MechAssault 2 Lone Wolf. Banger after banger. Oh, how we have fallen.
Mm-hmm.
That was the back of this book. That was the games that they were advertising coming out.
You know, I feel like because I played Conker on Xbox, but I feel like they definitely toned down some of the language in the Xbox version compared to the N64 release. Like it was more edited.
Yeah, I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did to it.
They bleeped out some of the language that was actually used in the N64 version. I remember because I own both copies.
Yeah. Let's see. It had a... it says, play with friends. Join an elite squirrel squad or play as the evil teddies. Stay by you. Oh my god, we played it so long. I played it so much, man. Choose between 6 combat specialists, each packing distinct. We had vehicles, abilities. That's what each specialist had a whole spawning thing. And then they basically did the play with yourself. Play the original version of Conker's Bad Fur Day with reloaded graphics. Oh my god, I was so hyped for this shit. But anyway, those are the games that they had coming out. So you say, like, how did we get here? And we're sitting here looking at things. But like, and then the other game they got, and anyway, Live and Reloaded, so you can't play the Reloaded part, but you can play the live part. And then Midway Arcade Origins, 30 games, $20. But there's your games of gold, $80 in value. $80 in value. Oh, Jesus. But those are the services and the games of gold, yeah. They're just, again, like I said, they're devaluing a lot of the stuff going on.
Afterthought. They're not as concerned about adding value to gold anymore. It's all about Game Pass. That is their strategy.
That's it.
The game, they're just putting stuff in there to say they're giving you some games, but no one wants to play. I mean, I'm not saying Conker's an Xbox OG game. It's not even
but the thing is like again, and this is where we're saying we're talking about buying studios. Conker, Perfect Dark, even Banjo, all got their clout on Nintendo 64. Microsoft just bought them and could not continue those trends in those games. They failed Conker. They failed Perfect Dark, which I think that even was an N64 game. Cameo, I think, was good, but that was even an N64 game that they put it over to the 360. But they did not get that Rare back. And this is where I mean, they've been doing it since then, where they bought them with the potential, oh my God, a Conker with Microsoft, because Microsoft was edgy with Xbox Live, and they bought Rare, and I'm like, oh man, Conker 2 is going to be insane. Never got it. 20 years. Microsoft had the potential, never got it. Got bullshit. They threw him all over the place, but never made a game for him. So now you're sitting here, they're doing the same thing. These companies built their IP, they built their stuff, and Microsoft just bought them. They bought Ninja, they bought Shroud to just get them, just for Mixer. And they shut that shit down. This strategy has happened before, and it doesn't work. The only thing that it worked out for them, and this is the thing, Microsoft got googly-eyed because of Minecraft. They bought Minecraft and they just kept the lights on for Mojang. But Microsoft did nothing to get Minecraft to where it was when they bought them. Microsoft did not
You know
put them
what?
on every device. They didn't develop those games, dude. That game was everywhere when they bought them. All they did was just say, now we own you, slap a Microsoft Studios on it. And what are they doing?
Exactly.
What are they doing with Starfield?
They had Minecraft Legends or whatever that game was.
That was their game. That was their first game. And then there was a second game from Mojang that they made. But, like, even with these, they got these IPs. They got this stuff right now. They bought all these studios. Just because you're spending the money doesn't mean it's yielding the stuff that gamers want. And it shows that your management of these studios and what you did with Rare makes you go, like, what are you doing with Bethesda? You're slapping on your name. Oh, Starfield was announced for everything. Starfield was coming pretty much. You just bought them and you just took it away. Oh, but that's good now, right? Exclusives are good now? Okay. Oh, just because you're whoring out on PC, exclusives, then it's just not on PlayStation. Okay. Because before that purchase, it was games everywhere. Everybody needs to play these games. That's the problem with gaming. But when they locked down Starfield to where Xbox Gamepass is, now we love exclusives. Because I went on for a year and a half talking about exclusives matter because Sony was doing them and Microsoft was whoring them out. And now all of a sudden Microsoft takes these games and makes them exclusive. Now they're all back. Everybody's back on the exclusive bandwagon. Buy everybody.
What happened?
What happened
to exclusive
What happened,
being
fuckers?
counter? What happened to exclusive being counter to what gaming is all about?
Yeah. That was a bunch of smoke up your ass.
Mind about what they're so all over the place with their messaging and don't even.
They don't even know, man.
It.
You can't even keep up with the Phillness. That's the thing. He's ducking and dodging you left and right. But meanwhile, this is where the future is in this kind of Phillness attitude. The thing is that they've had the potential. They had these studios. They had this IP. They chose to do nothing with it. So what makes you think they're going to change now? Because of Game Pass? Because look at Battletoads. Look what they did with Battletoads. That grew a legacy on the NES. Have they recaptured that with the new Battletoads? They basically devolved it into a god. They freaking gave it the
cartoon.
They fucking gave it the mutagen and went back into the original, fucking the Battletoads. They destroyed the IP.
The original Battletoads was
they
not
destroyed
a game. It wasn't this cartoon looking game.
It looked like a Flash
kids.
game. That's what the Battletoads that everybody wanted. They destroyed it. What did they do with
and
the
Crackdown?
combat
Was slow.
Oh, it was horrible. And then it did all mini games and horse shit. Like, that was horrible. And Crackdown.
Rare has a lot of IPs, but man, oh man.
Devolved it. They devolved Crackdown IP. They killed it. Banjo. What are you doing with that? You whore it out on Nintendo. But the thing is that they've had this potential. And Sony takes Insomniac, buys them, and then makes them make, you make this, you make Spider-Man. Like, they look at the output and the productivity of a Sony purchase studio where you see progression of the games. It looks like they're working. With Microsoft, they're where's the potential there? Like, they have it, but they have to prove it. You have the best first-person shooter you ever that built your house. Halo built Xbox, and you show what you showed last year. Like, come on, that's you. That's the house that Halo built, and you are willing to show that last year and then hide it this year when everybody needed to see it. And people are like, oh, the multiplayer looks great, but you have no confidence in what they needed to erase what you saw last year and how they fixed it, and they didn't. You had to see progress and no release date on top of that. So we'll see. You know, the jury's out on that game, and I can't believe you're saying that jury's out on Halo, but it is. But again, Microsoft is outside the titty twister, saying we got Game Pass, we got this, we got that, like just kind of whoring out, or like, you know, we got all these things that's nice on paper, talking all big game. And then Sony's targeted going out there going, I'll give you some money, you go do a job for me, and then I'll see if I accept that job, and then then maybe you come part of the family. Like, it's definitely, you know, both of them are obviously strategic, but they're strategic for different reasons. Sony just seems to be more strategic in delivering content to their core audience. Microsoft seems strategic into just flood the Game Pass service. Yeah, and I remember Game Night, another quote, just to wrap this up. Phil in 2017, games like Horizon and Zelda don't have the same impact as before. Phil in 2020 wants more single-player games from that first party. Exactly.
Phil's so all over the place in his messaging.
Dude. And no,
literally, he flip-flops all over the place.
And I don't want to, and this thing is going on epic times. Thanks for staying on, everybody. Hit that like button as we grind the midnight oils and we're wrapping this thing up. What's funny is Nick says, give them a break, Jez. Phil's only been there for 7 years. Only been in charge for 7 years. Exactly. He's been there for 7 years, in charge of 7 years. How does Gymnast Ryan getting quality games out? The dope has been there for only 2 years. Gordon and them Ramsay's getting games out. After staying stupid shit, gets promoted. Gordon Ramsay's in Hell's Kitchen, and he's coming out with games and saying shit. Like, how's he doing that stuff? And meanwhile, Phil's been there for 7 years, and he can't even get his head out of his ass. This is the thing. Ready? I heard people going, Phil turned this around. Because Don Matchick was all about Kinect and all this other stuff. If you recall, when Phil took office back in 2003 or whatever like that, Phil basically was promoting Kinect, saying it's going to be the future, saying that there's more games coming for Kinect. Phil was on that Kinect bandwagon. And then they killed it. So he did not come in here and say, I hate Kinect, I'm out of here. No. He was all about Kinect. He was hyping it up at the E3 awards. So like people think that this like that he saved, and it's like he didn't save shit.
Right.
Like he didn't. He pivoted, and he pivoted in a way where oh my God, where does he say it? Well, I think it was in 2000. When did the Xbox come out? 2007? 2013, right? Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where is he? He did an interview with Jeff Keighley. People are like, oh, he saved Xbox. He didn't want Kinect. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm. What?
I'm like, what?
He was in charge. He
was in charge 7 years. Here it is. Come on, guys. You know how we wrap this up.
And thing, just like gamers,
right?
And wanting to experience E3.
Where is this?
The lineup this fall mixed with the great third-party games, but the rare moment for me was kind of special. Just known that studio for such a long time.
Well, and I think people are really excited that they're back to doing, real sort of, games for gamers.
Yeah, it was up.
Rare.
The
He's talking about
said,
Rare.
you guys build what you want to build. Greg Males, who I've known for years, is there. Craig Duncan running the studio.
Right.
There's just a great opportunity to have the creativity that Rare has built over the 30 years, and then look forward on what they want to make on gaming.
Absolutely. We talked about Halo. Josh Holmes was here earlier. That game looks phenomenal. Gears 4, Rod Ferguson's going to be by as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming out. So that'll be a big game for next holiday for you guys, right?
Next holiday looks fantastic when we start looking at the lineup. I'm excited about getting to Gamescom and getting to show Scalebound and Quantum Break and Crackdown.
Those are all going to be in 2016?
We haven't announced dates for all of them yet.
Did I just hear? Oh my God, did you hear that? I didn't even know that was part of this. Grind, did you hear this?
Getting to show.
Next year looks great. We got Quantum Break, Scalebound. What?
With Scalebound and Quantum Break and Crackdown.
Those are all going to be in 2016?
We haven't announced dates for all of them yet, but
no date for Scalebound, and Crackdown got delayed to 2018.
the lineup next year is looking incredibly strong when we look at those games.
There's no COVID back then, so he was Phillness in your ass back then.
Those are all going to be in 2016?
We haven't announced dates for all of them yet, but the lineup next year is looking incredibly strong when we look at those games. And some of them actually might come a little earlier than that, but it's
trust me, I didn't want the clip for that part, but man, this is what I mean. You could just get any Phillness interview, like Guess the Phillness, man. We gotta play that game again. You could get any interview. This is from 2015 E3. Dude was hyping up 2016, Scalebound, Crackdown. It's all, and then he's like, "It all coming next year." He goes, "Yeah, I haven't announced any dates yet, but they might even come even sooner, or maybe not at all." But anyway, but he saved them.
Next year is looking incredibly strong when we look at those games. And
Right, he did save it.
some of them actually might come a little earlier than that. But it's
Some of them might
it's
even
a
come this
great
year?
time. Well, before next E3.
Okay,
Some
before
of them
next
maybe.
E3.
Like
All right.
games got to be right before we ship
You
it.
guys do have a lot of amazing sort of first-party titles across the spectrum. As you said, the fact that you could have Scalebound, Crackdown, and Quantum Break not even at E3.
Yeah.
And that was a strategic decision to kind of wait and give them their own stage.
Yeah, like Recore, our first time working on a first-party
Recore.
game with Inafune-san is something I wanted to show on stage here.
Yeah.
He was in the audience. It was great to be able to do that. But yeah, the first party, obviously, as the old first-party guys, really important to me. But at the same time, we had Todd on our stage, and Todd Howard has such a history with Xbox. And we'll still have Call of Duty and Destiny and Star Wars Battlefront. Like, we'll have great third-party games and the mix of the first-party games. It's just what Xbox gamers want.
Right. Let's talk
Oh, do they?
about some of the things that I know you guys were just talking about on the Daily Show, which is the new Xbox, the Xbox Live interface and how that's being updated. I know you guys didn't show that this morning, but you guys continue to improve the platform as well?
Yeah, our focus has really been around performance.
Yeah.
Like letting people do the things that they want to do on the platform quickly. And I thought we had some real improvement that we could make. I think people will see it this week. The changes there, the common tasks are about 50% faster for people on the compatibility. And I like the looks of the game. But when I think about what gamers really need out of the box right now, it's the form factor. It probably isn't the #1 request of, hey, can we do something with the plastic? It's more about the experience, the service, and the games. So that's where I've decided to focus the energies of the team, and I like the way it shows up. But yeah, I mean, over a generation, you'd expect that there will be enhancements made to the industrial design of the box itself.
Right. And you also have that cool new controller, which is definitely for the core. And it's interesting that, now Xbox has really pivoted in a way where it's like that's for the core, whereas, years ago it was much broader focus about Kinect and things like that. Kinect, people still have it. There's some examples you had in the briefing where people could, call out to get a screenshot taken and things like that. As a platform for Kinect, I mean, are you putting resources against designing games content for Kinect, or is that sort of passed over?
No, we have lots of engineers that work on the Kinect functionality to support third parties and the games that are developed with Kinect. So it's an important investment for us in making sure the platform's great. The technology that's in HoloLens is similar. It's actually the same team that does the back-end technology around gesture and voice. So there's a lot of investment in that space. And I think actually as HoloLens gaming take off, you might see more games coming to Xbox that are Kinect, just as people get more adept at using motion and voice.
So HoloLens, you had a really cool Minecraft demo there.
Like
I think, yeah, looks cool. But I just wonder, is that the game aspect of it, and HoloLens? I know it's still in the Windows 10 timeframe. When are people gonna be able to get a HoloLens or start to experience it? Is it this year?
We haven't announced the date. We're really focused on the experiences. We know we need to get the experiences right before we think about date and price and other things that people ask. That's what's been great about having the Mojang team work with. This is in Sachs, who's on the team. And
E3 this is. There's not no game developers conference.
Experience
this was E3.
Authentic to Minecraft and authentic to HoloLens. We need to land those. And having the first-party team partnered with the platform team is just a unique opportunity. And I love this demo. I just thought it
Oh, it's amazing. Well, and that's the thing is, anyway, you guys do such a great job the way you film this, because it's sort of the camera sees it and you sort of imagine.
So you don't see it this wide
on the building right now. The camera itself is a feat in getting that camera to work. But I mean, this is what Sachs is seeing. He's obviously on the other side, but he sees that same perspective when he looks at the table.
Yeah, we don't see it
Again, for a property like Minecraft, for a game like that, it just seems very natural.
Absolutely. So that is that something that will work with my Xbox One?
No, that is a native. HoloLens is an untethered device. The computing is in the HoloLens itself.
So you don't have to talk to the Xbox One or connect up to potentially. I'm thinking of an idea of I could have playing Halo and I could have my HoloLens on and my controller and I could have augmented things. around it.
We've been working on that. And in fact, there's some demos that we were looking at showing around what we can put around a television if you have a HoloLens on. On stage, it was going to be kind of hard to do, but there's a good roadmap of things for Xbox customers if they own a HoloLens and how those two will collaborate. But this is HoloLens standalone running Minecraft in the Veil itself.
Wow, well, it's amazing, and you guys had a great lineup of content across the board for Xbox fans. We'll look forward to seeing some more playable stuff on the show floor.
Yes.
And a big holiday, the best holiday in Xbox history, you're saying?
I think so. We have Gears, Forza, Fable, Halo, Call of Duty. I mean, you look at the lineup first and third party, it's an incredible time to be a gamer.
That's what I mean. This week, it's been across the board today. It's been amazing. I think Sony's going to have good stuff, too.
Sure
Everyone's going to have across the board. It's pretty exciting to see HD console gaming in the state it is right now.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. People were asking, do people need consoles? Now they're both selling incredibly well, and the content is fantastic.
Well, Phil, you've done an amazing job, really, reinvigorating. I know everyone at Xbox is really excited about where the platform's at, and I think the fans, as you saw.
I don't have to say anything. Like the Phillness is just fucking oozing out of my screen. I don't even know what the chat is saying, dude. Like I'm just like mesmerized at this shit. Like, do you see what we've been through? Do you see what we've been through? Jesus Christ. Like, do you see? Do you see? Like, I feel like at the end of Event Horizon, where the guy's like, do you see? Do you see? How can you sit here in 2021 and think that the shit that he's saying now is going to apply in 2023 and 24? Like, this is what we heard in 2016, in 2015. Do you see? None of that shit came to fruition. None of it. Kinect, dead. HoloLens, dead. Minecraft, HoloLens, dead. Scalebound, hyping it up, dead. Fable, shut them down. Crackdown 3 delayed a year and a half. Came out to shit. Master Chief Collection broke. Do you see? Just because you hear the person talk and tell you about the studios and tell you about this, you're all in? If I'm a betting man, I'm not opening up my goddamn wallet for that shit. The whole 6 years exactly, Josh. 6 years. I don't have to say anything. You heard it from the horse's mouth. They're different now. They're moving on. What are they doing? It's a bunch of more promises. Back then they had some games, but it was still broken promises. So you could sit here with a straight face and say, the future's bright for Xbox. Do you hear what he said? Did you even hear what he said? I might even grab this line for my Grindsboard here.
Holiday in Xbox history, you're saying?
Wait.
Call of Duty. I mean, you look at the lineup
right here.
Third party. It's an incredible time to be.
What did he say about console
what I mean.
sales? What did he say about console sales?
This week, it's been across the board today. It's been amazing. I think Sony's going to have
to think people said you don't need consoles anymore. What did he say?
Sure, everyone's going to have across the board. It's pretty exciting to see HD console gaming in the state it is right now.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. People were asking, do people need consoles? Now they're both selling incredibly well, and the content is fantastic.
Awesome. Well, Phil, you've done.
And even if you say that they're in a different spot right now, right? You saw what that was. So how can you look at that as an Xbox fan, see that, and then see the horse shit that they're showing now and be like, oh no, we're good. We're good, dude. Future's bright. It's great. We're dude. Sony didn't change. Nintendo didn't change. Like, this is the thing. So when I sit here and have doubt, there's where my doubt came from. Because I was all in on Xbox. I was all in. And that was all lies. All lies. Now he says you don't need consoles. So if you were an Xbox fan, you heard that from the man's mouth, and now you sit here and you don't second guess him. You don't go, you know what, dude? Maybe not this time. Well, let's see some more games before I start, drinking the Phillness. This is not propaganda. This is not me making let me make one of these fan-made goddamn studio shirts, or I'm gonna make this thing of my interpretation of Xbox and my history. This is real interviews. Those are real prices that I showed you last week on Grinds My Gears. This is the real. That's how I deliver it. That's how we deliver it here in the Gaming Grindhouse. This is real. This is the shit that has happened and is going on. This is not no fan bullshit. If Sony messes up and does something I don't like or somebody on the panel don't like, we're going to talk about it. But you can't get mad when somebody's feeding you well with great games and great experiences. And I'm sorry, they're the only fucking company right now that's even doing a damn for next generation. Nobody else is doing shit. We talked a year and a half of 12 teraflops, the most powerful thing, Project Scorpios, fucking Master Chief on chips. We spent years talking about project console names, talking about the power. And the only one doing anything worth a fucking damn is the one that we just found out design, name, and specs last year. Enough is enough. They wasted our time at E3 showing us HoloLens. They had no gaming implications for that. They put together some fucking tech demo because they wanted to say, me too. We got some VR. Me too. They wanted to do a Kinect 2.0. When Sony was showing glow sticks, Microsoft was going to show Kinect 2.0. Look at HoloLens. That's next gen VR. Never amounted to shit. They even came out with HoloLens 2. Never done shit with it. And you're sitting here looking. Sony says the Thursday. We're gonna talk about PlayStation VR 2 coming next year. Not right now though. Not right now. They got a real deal next gen PlayStation 2 VR in their back goddamn pocket. Sony's sitting there with PS VR for the PS5 in their goddamn pocket. We're not even talking that. That's how crazy this is. He was hyping up HoloLens in 2016, 2015. They came out, HoloLens 2 shit came out. Now they got VR in their pocket. That they have a whole bunch of games. Just for that. Talk about exclusives. They're going to have those exclusives. And if I use this DualSense controller and use the 3D audio, you know I'm already seeing the possibilities of the PSVR 2. I'm hyped as hell. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I was hyped for VR. I love VR. I think it's great. But I heard a lot of people going, that's the future of games. Everything's going to be VR. Cash out. But it found this niche. And I think the same thing is going to happen with streaming, and the same thing is going to happen with subscriptions. People are saying right now that that's the future. But I think once it gets fully implemented or once it starts gathering itself, is going to be a quadrant of people that do that way and a quadrant of people that do like streaming and stuff. It's not going to be that because the market's going to gamers are fickle people and gamers know quality. Gamers can't be duped. That's the thing. Gamers will know what has they will determine what has value and what doesn't have value. Just like he was saying, the consoles were selling great. The PlayStation 4 sold enough to warrant that they needed more next gen. They needed more consoles. People were saying that mobile gaming was going to take over. The iPad was going to take over. Why do you have smart glass? Why did they have all those iPad apps and shit? Because they thought that everybody sat in front of their TV with an iPad. But the thing is that it didn't take over. And the console sold more than possibly almost on the kin of the PlayStation 2. And Microsoft just exited. They said, nope, we're not going to hit those numbers. That's not the game we got to play. We got to do something else. We got to get our games in front of as many people as possible with the hopes that we sucker somebody into liking our game or subscribing or doing something to our games. That's what they're doing. Like I said, they're chumming the water. Bad quality bait for now in front of as many people as possible and hoping they get a bite. They're doing it with their studios. You look at strategic. That's why I say when Sony says strategic, Housemarque made something completely different than what Sony has. Spider-Man is different than what Sony has. You look at what Microsoft's doing. You got Obsidian, you got Bethesda, all making. You got Fable in the works. You got 3 fantasy RPGs like working on them. Whatever Everwild might be, that might be another RPG fantasy type look. Like, what kind of strategic is? You got Outer Worlds 2 working on there when you basically got Starfield. Like, it's like, what is the, why do we have, like, these redundancies of genres? Like, it's not even open world RPGs. They're basically specifically fantasy RPGs, fantasy space ones. Oh, and then we got Doom, and then we got Halo. And then, oh, let's do another sci-fi shooter, Perfect Dark. Who? Why? There's a lot of overlap in these IPs. Like, they're not just you know, like Last of Us 2. Yes, it's a third person game, but like, and it's post-apocalyptic, but it's different than Days Gone. You know what I mean? They're one's an open world game, one's not. You're talking about open world RPGs, like 3 of them. Open world fantasy RPGs. Fantasy RPGs. Not even just open world games, like fantasy RPGs. Like, you got all those games in the works. Like, it seems redundant, but at least they're making games. Oh, so they say. We got to see them. But listening to that history, you can't have a question mark. You can't be a grinder. Of course you could be a grinder. Hit that subscribe button, grinders. This has been another Gaming Grindhouse. Link, you still there? You went to sleep? Because my voice is about to go. I think Link went to bed. I mean, oh, Link's still there. But anyway, gamers, grinders, we've done another epic show. We got 75 likes, 5 dislikes. We had some Xbox fans pass by and give their condolences and celebrate. So I appreciate that support. And yes, I'm agreed. Not everybody agrees with me and how I feel, but you know what? This is the Grindhouse, and this is how I feel. This is how the panel feels. This is what the grinders feel. And you guys, you built the Grindhouse. So, and I appreciate the support. And Link is powering his dreams right now. But yeah, it's not 10 p.m. My voice is shot, dude. We've been doing these epic shows, but you know what? This was a lot of stuff went down, so we had to talk about it. And yeah, that Phil interview. I'll be timestamping this. But if you're new, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000. I could tell that I'm making it big time because I'm getting more dislikes. So, yep, here it comes, baby. Here it comes. Grinders, I'm ready. I'm out, everybody. This has been Grinds My Gears, the Gaming Grindhouse, episode 26 in the books. Welcome to the Grindhouse family, baby. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, share it out. Timestamps will be coming tomorrow. And everybody, good night. Hopefully get some more good news this week. See you guys later. Thank you again, Link. Thank you, Frogs. Hope you're safe down there in Florida. Talk to you guys later. Grindhouse is closed. Good night, everybody.